I think I became a man that night, because he basically sat me down on one of those little things that stop your car when you're parking. Didn't even look at me. He goes, I'll support you both ways emotionally, but if you get hurt, don't you dare come home. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna be a doctor then. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna Frank Sinatra the shit out of him. I'm gonna do it my way. So I developed what I would tend to call lifestyle medicine. And what it is, it's a collaboration of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And basically what we do is it's focused on diagnostic testing. So I think everybody's a unique individual and they should be treated as such, which traditional medicine falls short of that. I was the first doctor in Miami Beach to do IVs on the beach, the first doctor to bring ketamine therapy into it. So basically I kind of built the wellness, anti-aging, regenerative practices out throughout Miami. They touted me as the world's most hated doctor among doctors. And I wear that like a badge of fucking honor.
I was about to say.
No, I love that. My approach is like a very, macroscopic view, whereas all physicians are like, cardiology, just the heart. Well, what about his diet? I don't care about that. I'm fixing the heart. It's just like, it's the most important fucking thing out there, you know what I mean? Like,
it kind of connects there.
Like, the problem is with ketamine is now that it's so mainstream, there's so many sharks in this industry. There's so many bad doctors and bad businessmen that they're just giving out like Tic Tacs. And the problem with that is there's no follow-up. There's no monitoring. You can sit there and have that experience to where if your hormones aren't right, if your nutrition's off, if you're toxic, you'll never heal. Right. You just sit there and feel good for a couple of days. I used to love where the industry was going, but now it's just as bad as traditional medicine. See, I tell everybody, you can't take weight loss advice from a fat doctor. How many doctors out there are fat? How many out there are not? A doctor should be your hero.
Ivan, thank you so much for doing this.
Dude, my pleasure,
especially
man.
on a Saturday afternoon. We're going to pop a top for a second.
Oh, yeah. I'm down for popping some tops on a Saturday. All right.
A little different kind of pop the top, but
I'll take it. Oh, excellent.
Well, I normally, you can ask these guys, I normally don't do this, but I was so impressed by your just story and bio. I kind of want to read a little bit.
It's very bipolar.
Because it's like the first thing, I just want to read this. Okay, medical doctor, outdoorsman, hillbilly, medical shaman. Like, that alone just got me so intrigued. I was like, that's badass. Right? I was like, okay, we're going to get along really good. It's because I'm from Alabama, so I got a little hillbilly in me too. Okay, so where are you from?
Originally from, I call it Pennsyltucky, actually from northwestern Pennsylvania.
No way. Pennsyltucky.
Pennsyltucky, man.
That's awesome.
Town of like 10,000.
Okay.
Milking cows, baling hay, and shoveling shit. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So, yeah. So Miami's a nice place to call home now.
Heck yeah. Owner of Lifestyle Medicine, Miami-based wellness medicine clinic. That's on South Beach?
Yeah, South Beach.
Amazing.
Sunset Harbor.
Okay. Actually, I'm just going to read this. We are a medical practice helping patients in their journey to achieve optimal health by providing cutting-edge solutions. Wait a minute. Wait, do you know Dr. Kaplan?
I do know Kaplan very well.
And are you?
Yeah, me and him work together with.
Yeah, right? Okay, because I'm putting two and two. He's told me we're supposed to meet.
Oh, well, shit, serendipity.
So we're here.
Know what I mean, like, yes,
that's
I'm
crazy.
actually setting up a boxing match with him. We have the same trainer, so I mean,
no way.
Fuck yeah, it's gonna be
such
fun.
a small world. Miami's so tiny, really.
Oh, it is, man.
Like, it feels big, but it's not.
No,
like,
for sure.
And then, I mean, just a list. You've been all kinds of stuff online. A book, and this is actually, to me, my wife's a very wine person. I'm a wine person, so when I read this, I thought that was very cool. So it's The Winemaker's Dinner. It's a trilogy?
It's a trilogy, yeah. I got 3 of them published out there.
Amazing,
so it was nice. My mom thought it was a romance novel, but it turned out to be an erotic novel. So it was funny. I think it was the New York Post had called her and asked her, "It's like, so what do you think of your son's erotic novel?" And she's like, "What the fuck? I thought it was a romance novel." I was like, "Just don't read it." You know what I mean? Like,
I was about to ask you, did she read it?
She read everything except the smut. You know what I mean? Like, and she actually loved it, and it was funny. I flew my dad to Africa for the first time, and on the plane, he read the first book on the way over. He's like, "I didn't read that other shit, but I saw my son in it." So I was like, "All right, cool. I did something well with it."
And what brought that on? Like, what'd you through life experiences?
Yeah,
or?
I had won Mr. USA in 2008 and 2010. And then from that, I had an author from Canada. She was actually a rather well-known erotic author, call up and asked me to use my name and image for her book. And I had just gone through a breakup. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna write this book. It's always been on my list to actually like have a book published. So I went through and I just kind of the book is it's a full true story. So every experience or everything in there is true. It's just in a fictionalized arc. And the the heroine or the love of my life in the book is actually a collaboration of all the best parts of my ex-girlfriends. And I actually dedicated the first book to them. So it was kind of funny.
That's so cool.
Oh, it was great. It was cool. I'd sit there and like, because I mean, it actually did very well. So I'd sit there and like, randomly, like they'd be like, am I in this book? I was like, read book 2. You know what I mean? It was awesome though. We had fun with it.
So are you still single?
I'm actually married now.
Married?
Yeah,
okay. How long have you been married?
I've been married now 2 years almost.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually it was funny, the person who brought us together, Anton, actually attended the wedding.
No way.
So I got married in Vegas, and the rules were you had to dress as your favorite Elvis. So everybody dressed. There was a fat Elvis. There was a cocaine Elvis, everything.
Oh my gosh.
We had 20 people attend. Me and my wife dressed as Elvis as well. I had a mohawk at the time, which I kind of do have now. We drove into the chapel in a pink Cadillac. And we were married by or I guess a little person, Elvis. It was fantastic. And I'll tell you what, that guy laid down scripture when he taught. It was one of the best sermons or whatever. It was phenomenal. So yeah, if you're gonna do something, do it right. Have some fun. Everybody talks about an Elvis wedding. Nobody ever does it. So I said, fuck it, let's do it.
That's amazing.
It was fun. Real fun.
Very cool.
Heck yeah.
Well, I just want to like dive into some initial things. What kind of doctor are you?
So that's also a very, very long-winded question.
We got time. So
okay, good. So I'd actually got accepted to medical school out of high school, and at the same time I was accepted to play professional hockey. And my father kind of sat me down, and I had about 10 seconds to kind of make the decision because I had just left the training camp for the Erie Otters, which was an OHL team, and they're like, we weren't expecting to pick anybody up. And I graduated high school at 245, so I was a monster.
I was about to say, jacked.
Monster. And they had wanted me to come on and be the fighter. And they're like, we can only take one 16-year-old or one 22-year-old. Everything else is in between. We had our 22-year-old, but it was the guy I had challenged to fight the entire training camp.
Yeah.
So it was a situation like we were going to offer you the position. So of course, my dream just came true. Getting accepted to medical school was really awesome out of high school.
I was about to say out of high school.
Shit, man. I mean, like give me NHL, give me hockey. Yeah. So I sat down and we had walked down with the owner of the hockey team, and my dad's drinking beer in the back of his truck. It's snowing up in Erie, Pennsylvania. And the guy, of course, he sees me. What did he do? He thought I had done something wrong. He was like, no. He explained what it was, but I would lose all college eligibility. And I wouldn't be able to do because the medical program was, I skipped 2 years of college. I do 2 years of college and I go right into medical school as long as I keep my grades up. And he goes, let me talk to my son. And it was one of the most impactful things I've ever, I think I became a man that night because he basically sat me down on one of those little things that stop your car when you're parking. Mm-hmm. Didn't even look at me. He goes, I'll support you both ways emotionally. But if you get hurt, don't you dare come home. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna be a doctor then. You know what I mean? I transitioned, from my thinking of, I'm gonna be a hockey player into the whole doctor thing. But as I did that, I said, if I have to be a doctor now, because now I'm like, man, it's costing me my dream. I was like, I'm gonna Frank Sinatra the shit out of it. I'm gonna do it my way.
Okay.
So during my time in college and in medical school, I developed what I would tend to call lifestyle medicine. And what it is, it's a collaboration of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Emotional constitutes, the people you're with, the things you're doing, all that kind of stuff. And basically what we do is it's focused on diagnostic testing. So medicine should be customized. I think everybody's a unique individual and they should be treated as such, which traditional medicine falls far short of that.
Definitely.
So I went through, did my schooling with that, came out. I had won Mr. USA. My first year of medical school, I took a year off, which my dad was not pleased about. I got kicked out of the house. But he saw the first check come in. And he's just like, all right, maybe you can move back in, you know what I mean? And so with that, I started to develop all these different protocols. I was the first doctor in Miami Beach to do IVs on the beach, the first doctor to bring ketamine therapy into it, first one for hyperbarics, first one for NAD. So basically, I kind of built the wellness, anti-aging, regenerative practices out throughout Miami. So it was kind of fun to be like the godfather of it down here,
So do you know, sorry, I'm just, because I'm into this.
Trust me, I'm guessing there's a lot of dots we're going to connect today.
Yeah. So do you know Dr. Christopher Goddard?
Goddard? No, I don't know.
The Osteopathic Center?
No, where's that at?
Oh my gosh, you two got to get together. That's
wait, what's his name again?
Dr. Christopher Sean Goddard.
Goddard.
He goes by Sean.
Oh yeah, Sean. Yeah, okay.
Sean Goddard. He goes by Sean.
Well. Yes, I did my residency aspect with him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was about to say you guys would hit it off. So that's my anti-aging longevity.
No, he's great.
He's basically like my doctor. Basically,
dude, he's fantastic. That's a nice thing.
I
Once
do
you get
all
into
the
that,
IVs, the hyperbarics, everything with him. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
No, he's awesome. I mean, and again, They just did an article. I think it was for US Today or whoever it was. They touted me as the world's most hated doctor among doctors, and I wear that like a badge of fucking honor.
I was about to say.
No, I love that because because doctors this day and age, and again, my brother's a urologic reconstructive surgeon. Like they fly him all over the world, and for I'd say the first 5 years of my practice, me and him hardly talked. Because my approach is like a very macroscopic view, whereas all physicians are like cardiology, just the heart. Well, what about his diet? I don't care about that. I'm fixing the heart. It's just like, it's the most important fucking thing out there. You know what I mean? Like,
kind of connects there.
Exactly. So it's funny, man. Like, with my patients, I treat some of the biggest button pushers you can think of in this world. And it's always, they have a team of doctors. And it always ends up me getting some kind of altercation with them.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. I think medicine should be more common sense based.
100%.
Nobody does that anymore.
I broke my back twice. And in college football, and I went to the University of Miami to get diagnosed and to get to fix it, right? Yep. So they wanted to literally take my vertebrae out and put like 6 screws and 6 to 8 months of rehab and all this stuff. So I was and I was seriously considering doing it because I was in so much pain. I was in 24-hour pain for 4 years, like shooting pain. So I'm in the elevator of where did we live? It was right over here. North Bayshore Drive, right in front of Margaret Pace Park. I forget the name of the place. Quantum on the Bay. Okay. Where I was I'm in the penthouse of Quantum on the Bay across from Mario Chalmers. And I'm in the elevator and I'm with my 2 dogs and Sean walks in.
Oh, okay.
So you'll love this story because it's right along the line. So he walks in and then I get out of the elevator and I start walking my dogs. And then I hear, "Is your back hurt?" Like that.
There you go.
And so I turned around and I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually in severe pain right now. It's shooting down my leg." And he was, "I can fix you," like that.
Oh,
and I was like,
confidence, man.
And I was like, okay,
It's sold.
So complete stranger in the elevator. So that night he comes up to my apartment with like 50 needles like this long, and he injects me. Imagine stranger, okay? He injects me.
Nuts on you, man.
He injects me with volcanic ash, like and dextrose.
Okay,
it's like prolotherapy, but back then it was like the strongest. You could do. They don't even let you do this anymore.
No, not anymore. Prolotherapy's,
And so then he tells, and it hurt like, like
it's a painful
he shot like, I'm talking like 50 something injections. And I'm screaming and cussing. And I'm like, what the hell have I got myself into? And then he tells me, he's like, look, the next day you're going to hate my guts. He's like, you're going to feel worse. And he goes, really, quite frankly, it's probably going to be 3 days. Yeah. And he goes, but I swear on the 4th or 5th day, you're going to feel like a new person. Mm-hmm. So sure enough, the next day, I call him up and literally cuss him out because I couldn't even walk. Yeah. Like I could not function.
Yeah.
And he was like, calm, but he was just a very calming, like I was losing it and acting like a fool.
Morgan Freeman
and he was just like,
you're
going to be fine, And I was like, all right. And sure enough, I kid you not, the 4th day, all my pain was gone.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so of course then I go back to like doing Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu,
exactly, right?
Lifting heavy again. And I'm like, I'm healed. And then I hurt myself again. And so he's been injecting me ever since.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now he does like more like stem cells and stuff like that. But it was a great situation.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's such a small beach.
Oh, definitely. I mean? Especially like when you have like that tribe that believes in the same thing,
for sure.
You end up meeting the same people. This is a little off script, but now that I know who you are, because so people have talked about you.
Okay.
For some reason, people are dying to get
Hopefully
me
good. I mean,
all in a very positive way.
Good.
So Derek DeGrazio too.
Oh my God!
So that's my boy. That's my guy.
Man,
I love him. Him
and his wife. His wife.
Oh my God! His wife is
man.
No, she's more savage. Come on, let's keep it real.
I'm trying to be polite with him now.
He knows it. He has
but that's good. Oh my God! Yeah,
it's such a small world. But Derek works out of my gym, and love him to death. But him and Kaplan have been trying to get me to go see you for some reason. But I want to talk about a little bit about like what you do there, and especially the ketamine stuff. Because I'll tell you a funny story. Like every time somebody tells me about ketamine therapy, all I do is I take myself back to my college days where I would come home.
I like where this is going.
I would come home and my brother and about like 4 or 5 hood boys with like fros would be cooking ketamine in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden they're in the K-hole on the couch, and I'm like trying to talk to them, and they don't even know where they are.
Good luck
and,
on that one, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like my experience. I've never done it before, but that's my experience, like seeing it.
Which is most people's experience.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And then to hear it being done the way you're doing it is kind of like, whoa, what is this?
It's
you know what I mean?
A fascinating medication. And the thing is, the funny, like I really didn't, I haven't studied in it or anything like that. It was kind of a firsthand aspect. I was at Zuma drinking too much. And one of my patients had a bodyguard there, and this guy happened to be the, what was he? He was the son of the only man who beat Bruce Lee in competition. Some of his are Persian, I don't know where he's from, And Dave was there actually for this. Right. So we lined up. I was like, all right, let's arm wrestle, So I mean, I used to do that on a rather large scale. So get up. And again, this is where it taught me a very valuable lesson at night. You always prepare for everything. So of course he's on that side, I'm on this side. Let's hit it. Okay. Second we get, he grabs the table, stands and twists. Pop, boom, shatters it. The maitre d' at the front of Zuma ran back because he actually thought it was a gunshot.
Wait, he broke your arm.
Snapped. So you can see now. I have a plate with 13 screws in it. And
in Zuma.
In Zuma.
That's like one of the most expensive restaurants in Miami. Like literally.
At least I got out of the bill, which was great. Right. No, so they take me to the ER at Mount Sinai, worst ER in the world.
Oh, I have a ER story about them too.
Oh my God, they're so bad. So we get there and like the guy's looking at me and like I burn through pain medication. It's the worst superpower to have. You give me pain medication, it's gone in 2 seconds. So they're sitting there like, we got to set your arm. I'm like, dude, it still hurts. They're like, we just gave you a couple milligrams of hair. No. So like, give him ketamine. I'm like, go on.
Yeah.
What was this one? Because I'd never done ketamine before.
Right.
Intravenous. I'm just like, sent my girlfriend at the time out, sent my assistant, because I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say. You know what I mean? Yeah. He comes over, you can still see the bump, screws in the actual syringe to give me the push, and he looks at me, and I had been training, so I was about 190 at the time, and he's like, you're like 230, right? I'm like, no, man, I'm 190. It's already in.
Oh,
and the doctor's just like, just hit him with it. He'll have a better trip. Let's go. And I felt that medication come up, not the front of my arm, and pull in the back of my head. And in about 5 seconds, I saw my entire life flash before me as my soul, spirit, essence, whatever the fuck you want to call it, left. And I sat there, and for that 45 minutes, it was probably the most peace I've ever felt in my entire life. Wow. I used to be the biggest guy, strongest guy, best looking guy, blah, blah, blah. Right. And at that point, everything, your ego just fell away. And it was crazy because like they have videos, of course they're videoing me and fucking around, they're like, I'm like, help. It wasn't because I was scared. It's because I was starting to come out of it. I was like, I don't want to go. I'm getting goosebumps. Wow. I don't want to come back.
Yeah.
And it was funny after I did that. And again, this is when ketamine therapy nobody knew about. I mean, nobody was doing ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Ketamine it's a cat tranquilizer, like a big cat tranquilizer.
Oh, no, yeah,
right?
Yeah, for horses,
like for horses or cat. Like,
well, usually what it is, but they in medicine they use it for geriatrics, pediatrics, and usually in war. Okay. Because geriatrics and pediatrics, ketamine is one of the safest things you can do, which nobody tells you. It doesn't affect your heart rate, doesn't affect your breathing. So you can overdose on it, you're not going to die. You overdose on fentanyl or something, oh, good luck, Right. Talk to you later.
Man, even the stuff they give you at the dentist creates like...
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so ketamine is so
every time I go to the dentist...
Nitrous and all that kind of stuff,
they're
right?
like, and I hate it.
Oh,
because
really?
You're stuck.
Yeah, you can't move.
And your heart's beating a million miles an hour.
No, for sure.
It
Ketamine's
sucks.
Nothing
and you're like
that,
yeah.
Man, nothing. It was just crazy. So I came out of it. And again, so of course, Mount Sinai, the guy wouldn't come in. 10 days go by. So what they have to do is they go in, because I was on IGF, all kinds of stuff back, hardcore stuff to regenerate and heal, you know? And I came out and so I go into surgery. I might have had a drink or two the night before for some reason. And they actually had to re-break my arm because I had healed so fast. So what they did was they gave me a complete wrist drop. I was walking around like this. Like if you're like, I'll give you $10,000, give me a thumbs up, I'd be like this. So then I go to Baptist and they do the nerve study test where they stick a gigantic needle in everyone and shock you.
I've done that before.
Oh,
it's miserable.
Fuck. So this big nurse was there. Worst bedside manner. She's like, oh, darling, you ain't gonna have that hand back. I'm like, dude, I am the king in my mind of South Beach right now. You ever see Nip Tuck?
Of course.
I was Christian Troy of South Beach. You know what I mean? It was the best time of my life. Right. I'm just like,
Yeah,
I
can't do this.
I'm a
like,
gimp,
right,
you know?
right.
So
exactly.
I said, you know what, fuck it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my shit together, and I just researched what I wanted to do: IGF-1, thymosin beta, all these different things. And again, this is before peptides were even a thing. You know what I mean? So
and by the way, before peptides were a thing, so Sean learned about peptides through me.
No shit.
So I was buying them on the black market,
dude, yeah.
and just doing my own research and injecting them and stuff.
They're so good.
And then they're so good.
They're
I was like,
so
and I had
good.
to tell Sean, and it was crazy. Yeah.
No, they're so good. So I sat there and I started going with it, and within 3 weeks, I had my complete arm healed. They took an X-ray.
Amazing.
The doctor came back and was like, "What did you do?" I was like, well, I mean, did some of my own medicine, you know?
Yeah.
And he showed me a picture of the X-ray where my bone had healed so much around the plate. It was like, it looked like fingers almost. And then the best thing is, well, yeah, your nerve probably is not going to heal. 6 months later,
Fine.
like nothing, like this arm's actually stronger now.
Wow.
And the best part about that entire crazy experience was when I did the ketamine, my business doubled and then doubled again because I stepped back. I stepped out of trying to be in the forefront of everything, trying to be the best looking guy, the strongest guy, the biggest guy. I said, fuck it. Let the world come to you. You know what I mean? Don't chase it. And everything from love to relationships to partners to everything it could be, phenomenal. And ketamine, so I sat there and said, if that made that big of a difference in me, I need to research this and figure it out. So once I started doing that and I started introducing it down here, like everybody looked at me like I was a pariah. They're like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're giving people are coming to my clinic. My clinic was all black with like splatter painted of like glow in the dark shit and all that. It was crazy. And like we started treating people and it just one after another of amazing results, like from Parkinson's to people who were depressed to people who were suicide. Like I had a guy who was slit his throat with a box cutter, Kemen. One treatment. It's fascinating. Wow. But, and it is a big but.
Yeah.
The problem is with ketamine is now that it's so mainstream, there's so many sharks in this industry. There's so many bad doctors and bad businessmen that they're just giving out like Tic Tacs. And the problem with that is there's no follow-up. There's no monitoring. You can sit there and have that experience to where if your hormones aren't right, if your nutrition's off, if you're toxic, you'll never heal. Right. You'll just sit there and feel good for a couple days. You know what I mean? Like a true thing. Like I even joke with like these life coaches. You should see them once if they're doing their job. You know what I mean? Ketamine's the same way. You should do it a couple
100%.
times to get there, and then you do it maintenance, not every single fucking week. And it's just like these people are like, oh, I'm doing ketamine tonight, and I'm out at a club. I'm like, you're fucking ruining it. Right. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for something like Matthew Perry. That whole bullshit with Matthew Perry, how they blame ketamine for everything. Wow. Granted, he had 4 other narcotics in his system they don't talk about. Right. But it's that kind of shit that's going to take it away from the people who need it. And that's where this industry right now, you know, the wellness industry is a $5.6 trillion industry. It's predicted by 2027 to be 8.6 trillion. The biggest growth of any industry in the world. That's how many people are getting into it. But you get all of these sharks and these doctors who don't know what the fuck they're doing and all this kind of shit. It's getting terrifying. Back like when me and Sean, when we first started out, there was nobody doing it. We were the black sheep of it, you know. And like now you see all these people who are cardiologists. Oh yeah, I also prescribe testosterone. I'm like, you're killing people. You can't just do testosterone alone. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna castrate somebody. You can't just do growth hormone alone. You can't. So it's a situation where I used to love where the industry was going, but now it's just as bad as traditional medicine. It's terrifying. It really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Did you see the Joe Rogan podcast with the Wells? What is it? Wells to Wells? Yeah, Wells to Wells.
No,
they're in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
But they do a lot of the whole hormone replacement. And, and it's a you would love that. Podcast. Because he really breaks down the insurance and how it's all
the play, man. Yeah. It's insane. It really is
wild.
The biggest thing is if you think the FDA, which again, and I'm going to kind of, you know how the peptides have been getting pulled off the market?
Yeah.
So we know why. And this is crazy. So again,
they don't want us healthy.
I'm not going to name the pharmacy, but there's a pharmacy in the wellness thing. They go to the A4M and I mean, all the different organizations that are for wellness. Because so you have traditional and wellness medicine. Right. So I'm grouping anti-aging into wellness. There's a pharmacy inside of that doesn't prescribe peptides because it's a specific type of pharmacy. Okay, so they go to the shows. And what they've done now is hired this jackass, one of these guys who wrote the steroidology books and all this kind of shit. They hired him to basically file complaints in every state to the board about how bad peptides are. They created a coalition in Delaware, and the best thing is this hasn't come out. It's because like they want me to be we're talking about being the face of the person who comes out and goes after him. Right. So they'll sit there and they'll sit right next to the people who actually produce the peptides. And they're fucking them on the back end because they're getting all these peptides taken out because they can't produce it. It's going to be a huge thing. It's probably going to hit in like probably 2 weeks because they're finalizing the it's called the Coalition of safe compounding out of Delaware, and it's this thing that's putting all these different complaints to the FDA, to the state boards, and that's why all these peptides are coming off: thymosin alpha, beta, BPC. I mean, everything. Tesamorelin. I'm not actually Tesamorelin still on it, but all this stuff is because.
But they took off Tesamorelin and Ipamorelin mix, which was my favorite.
Oh yeah, Tesamorelin is great. They still have regular Tesamorelin. Yeah. It's just the CJC.
So let me ask you this while I have you here. I was taking Tesamorelin and Ipamorelin, and I loved it. But now they took that off, and now, to your point, they only have Tesamorelin. Is Tesamorelin still good to just take by itself?
Tesamorelin is the big daddy of all the.
So it still works just the same.
It's still fantastic. Okay. The other one is, I mean, it's almost overkill. I mean, because what it does is a GHRP. There's a hormone aspect and a peptide aspect that kind of hit the anterior pituitary in different ways to produce more. But most people don't need that big of a hike of natural growth hormone because it's not going to go the full way, you know. But Tesamorelin is by far, and what I use now is Tesamorelin, and then I have a little. It's kind of a unique blend I did. So it's Sermorelin, and then I combine it with Cialis and oxytocin. Reason in being is because I used to.
Because you want to be good in the bedroom.
Well, again, it's just the funny thing. Like, these women are like, "Why are you giving me Cialis?" I'm like, "Well, if you go through
blood flow, though, like, is it a blood flow thing?
It's a blood flow. Right. It's a delta sleep. And that's the funny thing. If you Google Cialis with delta sleep, it's been shown to help induce delta sleep. DSIP was a peptide that got pulled off, which is delta sleep inducing peptide, which was almost better than everything. You know, so
really?
I would sit there and always combine it.
That one.
It's phenomenal.
Okay.
Of course, they pulled it off because it works and helps you induce delta sleep. You know, delta, you have delta, REM, theta, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Most people can't get into delta anymore because you're on your phone before this, or you're sleeping with your dog, or whatever it could be. So it takes about 45 minutes to get into delta sleep. Most people rolling, tossing, turning, their pineal glands all messed up because they've been on blue light all day, all that kind of shit. So this would just break you through it. It'd be the best sleep of your life. So what we've done now is taken the effects of Cialis and put in with Sermorelin, and then oxytocin causes more cerebral blood flow. Phenomenal mix. You know what I mean? So there's all.
And you do that before you go to bed?
Yeah, right before bed.
And then you sleep like a baby?
You sleep like a baby. I mean, I would say you sleep like a hooker on Sunday.
It's
good. It's good, man.
And you sell this one?
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, it's funny. Again, the other thing is once you come up with these blends, all of a sudden every pharmacy starts doing it. And it's just, you know what I mean? You can consistently reinventing yourself. But that's the sad thing, that one of our own is the reason all of these peptides are being taken off.
And it's because they're trying to monopolize the market, basically?
They can't produce it. So say you come to me. I do everything from Botox fillers to ketamine, hyperbaricals, whatever it is. It's a one-stop shop. So if you're coming in to see me, okay, well, I'll just do it here, right? The problem is this company can't do peptides. So they were just, I mean, it's a huge, huge pharmacy. When it comes out, it's going to blow your socks off. They can't do peptides. So somebody go to a place that does peptides, who does everything else that they do already. Why am I going to go to two different places? Just get it here.
Right. So now they got pissed about that.
Exactly. So now they're just trying to fuck everybody in peptides. So you can't do peptides, but you can come to them. You know what I mean? For their IVs and testosterone and other nonsense. Right. You know what I mean? So it's going to hit. It's going to be a really, really unique thing coming out soon.
Do you think that that's going to bring the peptides back?
No. Again, again, FDA. And, you know, so it's funny. Big Pharma funds 45% of the FDA, which nobody understands that. It's like Al Capone paying for the Chicago Police Department. Right. It's insane what goes on with that stuff. I mean, we're hoping. I mean, again, I'm in contact with all pharmacies because, like, half these pharmacies I was there from when they started. I've been doing so long. It's just crazy to see how, like, nobody gives a shit. But you have something like the COVID vaccine. Right to market. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this situation?
If we put this was my theory when that all went down, is I told everybody get on thymosin alpha.
Thymosin alpha and beta. They took it off 2 months into it.
Exactly.
2 months into
I
it.
stacked up. I was taking that every day.
I did too, man. The nice thing is the pharmacies, whenever they take something off, they can use the supply they have left. So I just like
that's what I told Sean. I called Sean. I go, give me everyone.
Yeah. Lyophilized, so it's good for you. Exactly.
We did that too.
No, heck yeah, man.
Well, what other peptides? I love peptides. So any other? Man. So your blend you talked about, which is fascinating. Any other ones you like?
My favorite one right now. So NAD. You know.
Okay, I love NAD.
Yeah, I've been doing NAD with my patients since 2012, and it's funny because there's something out called 5-amino 1-MQ. Okay,
I'll take that.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
The way that works.
Now let me ask you a question though, like, because should you cycle it?
No. So basically, what it is? Every day you take, so I prescribe the intramuscular NAD. So you take a shot of that with the actual pill, because what it does is, if you look at it, about 5-fold, it increases the NAD's efficacy.
The one
fascinating. The
amino
5-amino-1-MQ.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
Fascinating. It's
that one increases NAD.
It increases because it helps with the mitochondria, the cellular respiration. There's a lot of different things that it goes into, but it's also been shown for anti-cancer. I mean, it's a phenomenal thing.
I know it's phenomenal.
All my cancer patients go on NAD with the 5-amino-1-MQ plus a bunch of other stuff as well.
What is your thoughts on NAD IVs?
Fantastic.
Okay.
It's just
because that's what I do, but they're expensive.
It feels like fucking Satan grabs your soul, but I mean, like
Sean. So I do it in 15 minutes, and Sean's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Insane, man.
And so it's because I'm a little bit of a, I love like testing myself. And so when the day they came in, they were like, it's a 4-hour IV. And I was like, I don't have 4 hours.
Exactly. Just open it up.
And I said, open that sucker up. And they were like, it's going to hurt. And so I literally was sitting there. My stomach was killing me. And I felt like my head was going to pop off.
I'm telling you.
But I was like, I'm going to do it. And so now I just go in there and do it every time.
Man, that's awesome.
But I love the way it makes me feel. It, like when you get done with it, you're
comes
like,
out of your arm. Red meat. You know, I mean, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But it's a little expensive. So
it is. And unfortunately, hopefully, as this progresses and as these things get out and more people understand this medicine, those costs will eventually come down. Yeah. It's just right now, it is a rich man's game. And that no insurance covers it, because they'd rather pay for something for life for somebody to be on as opposed to fix something. But yeah, I mean, NAD is one of my favorites. I used to get AMP, which makes NAD look like shit. Adenosine monophosphate. So
I've seen it on the peptide sciences. I've seen AMP.
If you get the right stuff, I mean, I haven't dabbled in the black market for for this one, just because, again, when you put it in IV, it feels like your heart's going to blow up, but it's just like it's almost like injectable, like cocaine or something. It's just because it's pure, it's adenosine monophosphate. The second it finds 2 more phosphates, it becomes ATP, which is the ultimate form. Yep. Yeah, you have ATP, FADH2, and NADH. Those are the 3 forms of kind of energy in the body. FAD and NAD are the smaller kind. ATP is the big daddy. So if you put that precursor in there, shit, man, watch out, But it's funny because I've been trying to get my pharmacies. They said, well, they took it off, but there's no real regulation on it. And so sometimes I'll go through and just buy the lot myself. It costs like $25,000, $30,000, but it's all mine, and then I can prescribe it as is. Right. I've done that things with like injectable CoQ10 and things like that. It's just with them, they're kind of dragging their feet just because of how intense it can be. But it's awesome.
But it's not like you're not going to like overdose or anything like that.
Well, I mean,
it just kind of makes you feel like crazy.
Oh, it makes imagine NAD times 10. I mean, like, because it's the end product. It's so awesome. It really is. But yeah, there's so many different peptides out there now. It really is.
I know. There's so many.
But again, it's the combinations. You know what I mean? Some people say, I'm just going to take BPC and heal. The fuck you are. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? You make sure your IGF is right, your DHEA, cortisol, thyroid, testosterone, everything needs to be right. And that's kind of why, people in my clinic, they'll come in, and one of the most expensive part is the blood work, the actual diagnostic testing, because we're testing everything. And if we sit there and find one thing, like the biggest thing we find now is mercury toxicity. Mercury should be a $2 billion product because everybody has it. 80% of people we find that are new patients have mercury toxicity. And if you look at what mercury toxicity causes, diabolical. Everything from Parkinson's to dementia to cancer to autoimmune disorders, sexual dysfunction. I mean, I can go on all day if you just Google it.
Sean talks a lot about that.
It's a huge one, and it's just people don't understand the biggest culprit, fillings, dental fillings that we got. Yeah, in 2025, January 1st, it's now completely illegal to put in amalgam fillings in Europe. They're still doing them here like candy.
Of course.
But it's just like a situation was like, all right, it costs like $2,000 to get it completely out of your system, all that stuff. You want to keep doing that. It's insane. You know what I mean?
Are you doing like chelation to get it out?
Yeah, chelation. Yep. Funny thing is NAD is phenomenal for that. Oh, okay. So the NAD 5-amino-Q really gets it out. I developed an oral chelator, and then I have the IVs to do it as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it works well. That and another big one's Candida. Candida is a huge one.
What's it called?
You know how women get yeast infections? That's a Candida-based aspect. Candida. But we have Candida everywhere. It's a yeast that lives in our system. The problem is whenever you're immunocompromised, you have stress in your life, you don't feel whatever it could be, your immune system takes a dip. And if that happens, that Candida can overgrow. That can be everywhere from your digestive tract to your eyebrows to your nose to skin to everything. It also causes people to crave sugars because sugar is what feeds it. Sugar, alcohol, any type of that thing. So when we have somebody who we find that in, when there's smoke, there's always fire. You're always finding a hormone imbalance, mercury, whatever it is. But Candida is literally one of the most diabolical things that a lot of people have. They just don't know it. So it's a situation where it's like, I've been doing this for so long, you start to pick and choose, or not pick and choose, you start to figure out what to look for in people. You know what I mean? And Candida and Mercury especially are the two biggest things. I'd rather treat a Mercury toxicity patient than a person who has testosterone depletion. Why? Because you fix this could rebound.
Right.
You know, that's why people go on this.
It's all connected.
Exactly. Everything's connected, and that's what people don't understand. You know, you can sit there and say, I just want a testosterone of 2,000. It's the stupidest thing in the fucking world. You know what I mean? Like, give me a testosterone of 800 and an IGF of this and an adrenal cortisol. Right. Then you're going to feel like King Kong. You know what I mean?
I actually went to this hormone therapy guy, and he prescribed me, his cocktail or whatever it was. And I put on like 20 pounds, and my head felt like it was going to explode. And I was like,
were you shooting test Scipio?
Yeah. So, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And so I went and I just got tested myself, like not even through him, 2,500.
Jesus.
And I was like, bro, what are you doing to me?
No, man, that's dangerous.
And I was like, and I literally just was like, I'm done with you. And then
it's those doctors who have no clue how to do that, and it gives it a bad name. You know,
and it was expensive too. Like the whole situation, the first treatment, the second treatment, sitting down and getting the consultation was like $600, all this stuff.
These false prophets.
It's crazy.
Out there, it's insane. It really is. It's sad.
And there's a lot of them out there,
dude,
especially in Miami.
I'm going to say 90% of physicians in this industry right now are in it because you see no call, cash based, and it's a fun thing to be in.
Well, and now they're doing the daggone telehealth and that kind of telehealth.
Yeah, telehealth. Yeah,
and I mean, they're just
tic tacs, just like with the ketamine. Same thing. Oh, I need that. Send them testosterone.
Right.
It's just like, you're going to kill people in that. You know what I mean? It's going to give the doctors who actually know it. Like with me, like I grew up, I've been on everything in the world when it comes to gear wise, bodybuilding, everything, on a major level. And it's a situation where bodybuilders tend to be the smartest athletes out there because they know everything. And the come off cycle of, if you're doing HCG, clomiphene, and all that kind of stuff is one of the most important things in this industry that nobody understands because they've never done it. You know what I mean? Like, you see, I tell everybody, you can't take weight loss advice from a fat doctor. How many doctors out there are fat? How many out there are not?
Most.
Exactly, 100%. You know,
and they look old and
raggedy, but they're sitting there telling you, you smell like cigarettes, and they're telling you, it's just like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, and a doctor should be your hero. You should go to that person because you want to look like them. You want to have the same lifestyle as them. That's why I've tried to brand myself as being this crazy doctor. And again, I'm always 2 weeks out of a show. You know what I mean? But again, that's my job. It's not my job's not prescribing.
People are going to trust you.
Exactly. 100%. So I have people come in, they fly and they see me, they got tattoos. My office looks like you're on Alice in Wonderland. You know what I mean? Like, but then they sit down and they see what I've done and all this kind of stuff. They're like, well, if you're doing all, okay, what do you need? Here's a card. And like we treat. I mean, I've never been trained in cancer or neurodegenerative disease or anything like that. I'm treating that more than anti-aging now with crazy, amazing success because my favorite case was a Parkinson patient who came in, 83 years old when he came to see me. Kaplan referred him to me, actually. And because it was on his last leg. He came in and like I asked him one question. I was like, what makes it better or worse? He goes, nobody's ever asked me that. He said, whenever I get stressed, so what's my job as a doctor? Make sure he's not stressed. Check his hormones, everything. Anemic, all kinds of different things. I put him on testosterone, growth, everything. Within 6 weeks, this guy was having sex with his wife again. I mean, it was insane. Dude, I did a whole documentary on it. It was beautiful. And he would always sit there and say, because I did it pro bono. You know what I mean? Like, because I was like, I'm not going to take something on that I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to document the shit out of it. You know what I mean? So he was fine with that. And then he kept asking me, so, what can I do for you? I was like, you just keep being Lee Hill. You know what I mean? And then finally, like I got to the point where I was like, I'm going to document this. So I hired a team to come in. I said, Lee, are you afraid of heights? He said, I'm deathly afraid of heights. I was like, well, I got something you can do for me. He's like, what? I said, we're going to go hang gliding next week. I took him, there's a place up in Florida here. You can go a mile in the air. They pull you up.
This 83-year-old.
Who's 85 now.
85,
man. It's one of my favorite. And I tell everybody that video, if I was to die tomorrow, I have videos of me getting in fights with sperm whales in the water, with sharks almost taking my hand off. That would be the one video that I would say that defines me. Wow. Because it was just so fun to sit there and see, like, if you treat this person not as a Parkinson patient, treat him as me, as a person. It was the easiest thing I've ever done in my entire life. You just replace different things that were off. We pulled some metal out of his system. Dude, when he came in, because the three things he wanted were to have a better mood and affect. So when you go on something like carbidopa or levodopa, you just won the lottery. That's great. It takes all of your emotion away, okay? And he was full of pizzazz, but he just couldn't express it. He couldn't sleep, so he wanted mood, sleep, and sex with his wife. His wife is a bombshell. She's 70 years old. Oh, she's awesome.
That's amazing.
So it was cool. So again, like sleep came first, mood came second, and then week 6 he came in. He's like, can I talk to you? And I have an office full of people. And I was like, all right, Lee, I'm gonna come outside real quick. He's like, I had sex with my wife last time. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Really goes, penetration and I orgasm. I'm like, dude, you're my new hero.
What?
You're my new hero. It
That's
was awesome,
so
dude.
cool.
And
awesome. Are you getting like more Parkinson patients now?
So that video probably brought me in close to 125,000.
I was about to say,
dude, because I
hope that you're able to keep this going for people.
It was fantastic. So. You know, we're doing that. I mean, cancer has been a really, really good one. MS. I had a 33-year-old kid who was diagnosed wrongly with MS. He was dehydrated. He got diagnosed off of one film. He came in and like, if you see his documentary, he's like, dude, I say fuck too many times. I was like, no, man, because he was so pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, now he's out snorkeling with his daughters, doing sharks and all this kind of stuff off of a medical error. Medical error is the third leading cause of death in the United States.
Wow.
It's worse than respiratory disease, kidney disease. You're more likely to have your doctor kill you than respiratory disease, than kidney disease, than diabetes. It's terrifying. You know, it's just anybody, as long as you graduate, you're a doctor. And that's the shitty thing about it, man. It really is.
Wow.
I talk a lot, by the way.
I love it.
I talk a lot and fast.
Well, that's the whole point.
A lot and fast. So I mean,
I like it. I'm just this whole time I'm sitting here, I'm just dying out laughing that like I essentially know you but don't know you.
Exactly,
you
right.
Know what I mean?
It's like that one dot on the connected dots.
Yeah,
that we
I'm like, man, we should have met years ago. So, because Kaplan told me about you years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Kaplan's great, man.
No,
It was funny
I love
because
Kaplan.
my dad was a chiropractor.
Okay.
So I respect the shit out of those guys.
Yeah.
You know,
I was going to chiropractors when I was like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Like my dad
Fantastic. Structure
never took me to
man.
doctors. He like if we got sick, we went to the chiropractor.
Yeah.
Like, it was
I
like
couldn't
that.
agree with you more on that one. I didn't have a headache growing up. I didn't have any
And the chiropractor, so when I broke my back the first time, it was my junior year in high school, and I got misdiagnosed by like Health South, like the biggest doctors,
I know
the Dr. Scroochie and all these guys. And they told me I had to pull muscle. And so I played 9 games my junior year in high school as an inside linebacker and running back and kick returner and punt returner.
Man, those are some high contact
with a broken back.
Jesus.
And after every game, and then the last 3 games they were shooting me with Toradol with like, you know, needle like this thick and this, you know, in high school. And the pain was just unbearable. And my dad was like yelling at me for not hustling. And I'm like, I'm hustling, I promise. Like I could barely walk out there. And then I went to a bone specialist that found the hairline fracture in my L5S1. And it was
L5S1?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was fractured on the facet.
Oh my.
And so obviously, you know, there was something wrong. So again, they were like, surgery, you'll never play, they even said like, I'll never run again, all this crazy stuff. And so I went to the chiropractor, my chiropractor, and he's like, he handed me these pills and it was like bone factor 1, but it was basically like calcium, magnesium, and zinc, you know? And he's like, take these like M&Ms and get as flexible and strong as possible and do everything the doctors told you not to do.
Exactly.
And so I did, and I went from like 218 to like 195 shredded. I could do the splits.
Oh, fantastic.
I became the defensive player of the year in Alabama. Like, you know, everything, man. You know,
Shit.
and I was fine. And then we went back and did the x-ray, the same bone scan, and you saw the layer of calcium that went over the thing. But then my junior year in college, I broke it again. So that calcium thing broke again.
Huh?
And that was because of the stupid ass strength coaches back then. Like,
oh yeah, the shit that I'm sure you had to do.
All they cared about was like how much you could lift, you know, instead of, and looking back on it, if I showed up to Auburn at 6'1", 218, like a beast, you know, just flying around and just lighting people up. When I broke my back, I was 6'1", 240, and I was stronger than ever, but I was like, you know, I wasn't as fast and nimble and quick and flexible and all that. Yeah. And now, you know, and then I became a strength coach because of that, because I was like, I don't want other people to go through what I went through.
No, for sure, you do it smart.
But
no, it's funny you say
crazy.
that because so I walked into college at 245. I was benching like 540, squatting 600, leg pressing and shit. And I one day I looked around and I was just like, nothing but guys were gawking at me, being like, dude, you see how much he's benching? Girls were just like, they didn't give a fuck.
No.
That day I said, fuck it, I'm doing bodybuilding.
Did you ever see
I went down to 200 pounds, man, shredded, won my con. I was like, dude, because you're big, you feel, I was eating like, I don't know, 10,000 calories a day. I said, fuck it, man, what am I trying to do this for?
Yeah.
You know, what? It doesn't make
sense. Yeah, when I was done with football, the biggest I ever got was 240. And when I was done with football, I got all the way down to 200. And that was when the girls just like were like, you know, it was like a new world. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
so a
right?
six-pack is what y'all are looking
Exactly.
for. Not a 22-inch neck.
Yeah, walking around cutting your jeans. My mom used to cut my jeans and sew them in like
38
that.
jeans.
Jesus,
like because of my butt and legs, you know?
No, man.
My snack in football was a gallon of milk, whole milk.
Yeah.
And I would take a loaf of bread and make peanut butter, banana, honey sandwiches.
Dude, man,
the whole thing and just eat them all day long, you know?
Dude, man, me too, man.
was wild.
My alarm clock in the morning in high school was the blender. So I worked on a farm, and this wasn't whole milk. It was milk from the udder. It was a dairy farm. So
No
I'd
way.
come home with
So, like, straight
raw
up
milk.
from the
raw
nipple.
milk. Yeah, exactly. It'd be that, whole ice cream. It'd be 6 raw eggs, and it just blended. And the Joe Weider. Remember the Joe Weider mass gainer, which I'm sure caused cancer for everybody, you know what I mean? In there, that was my wake up, and then my going to bed was a double-decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich with bananas and the same milkshake.
Right.
Oh my God.
So my
dad
dad played college football, and he was a natural bodybuilder.
Okay.
So he was like always having us drink like, you know, aloe vera juice and charcoal and like, you know, like he was always
for sure.
like giving us, and we're kids and we're like, Dad, why? And then the weight gainer shakes, and then waking us up. So my dad would wake us up at like 5 in the morning and have us run in front of his car and like all this stuff.
Oh,
so,
dude. Me and you had a similar upbringing.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's always good to have that dad. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Hell yeah.
No, I mean, to this day, I mean, we're like best friends because of, I wouldn't be where I am today without him. You know, I say thing, like, man. You know, your dad is not supposed to be your best friend. He's supposed to be your disciplinarian. And then you grow into being best friends.
Exactly.
Like you kind of not hate. I guess hate's a strong word, but you kind of like,
no,
man,
you
really, Dad.
You hate your
well,
dad.
You hate your dad. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I hated him until I was 18.
You know what I mean?
When I turned 8, the day I turned 18, I remember he knocked on the door, brought me in breakfast. He cooked pancakes and all this shit.
Yeah.
Sat down and said, "Hey man, you're 18." I was hungover. He didn't know. You know? Hey, you're a man now. You're no longer my responsibility. I'm gonna be your best friend. So that fucker parties more than I do now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So my story is that my dad was on my ass, like just about everything. And then I'll never forget, and I don't remember the time frame. It was either my freshman year in college or was my senior year in high school. But he came up to me and he said almost the exact same thing. He's like, "I'm letting you go." He's like, "You got this now." And that was like when our relationship totally changed, you know?
Dude, exact same with me.
Yeah,
I came to respect him. You know, it's funny. I got spanked twice growing up, which I deserved.
I got spanked way more than twice.
Oh, it was a belt spanking, so it wasn't fucking. But
mine
again,
was the switches.
Oh, the switch. Okay, yeah. Those will leave a mark.
My bedroom looked out to the woods, and I had to watch him go and find the switch.
That's almost worse than
it was like it would you just be pacing and be like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know. But again, the whole respect about that, I respect him because I deserve those 2 ass.
Oh yeah, of course we deserve.
I whipped his ass twice.
Oh yeah.
He said one thing to my mother. I said, "Don't do it again."
Yeah.
And he did it right on his ass once. Then another thing was I bought him a car from. I did very well modeling, so I bought this. They're the Ford Thunderbird, you know, they redid it.
Yep.
You know, so I bought it for me and him to have, and he went out and fucking wrecked it.
No way.
Drinking like an idiot, you know. But it was like a funny drunk, you know what I mean? Like he backed into something. Right. I got out, and he gave me shit for it. Right down. I was like, "You don't do that in front of my friends," you know what I mean? Like, and that was it. We had those 2 things, and like after that, we were the best friends in the world.
I just took my dad to the NFL Hall of Fame.
Oh, in Cleveland?
So one of my clients.
Oh, no, where was that at?
It's in Ohio. Cleveland, Canton, Ohio.
Canton, Ohio.
Yeah, right outside of Cleveland.
I was thinking the Rock and Roll.
Yeah, well, you fly into Cleveland, and then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, and it's an hour away from Cleveland.
Okay, yeah.
But one of my former clients, Julius Peppers, just got inducted in the Hall of Fame.
He's a beast. Jesus Christ.
If he walked in right here, we'd be like,
fucking mountain,
6'7", 300,
legs like people,
can run like a deer, and the kindness. Just such a humble soul, like
that's awesome.
Just a beautiful person. But we had a really good time, like seeing my dad, like being able to go through the Hall of Fame and seeing all of his like old heroes, and I see mine, like it was cool.
That's super cool. Yeah. You know, it's cool to do stuff for your dad like that.
Definitely,
you know what I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, it was always good. I remember the one time I did. Whenever I drink, I tend to buy stuff. You know,
we all do
weird shit.
That's online. Like,
weird
I'm
shit.
Always, my wife laughs at me because stuff will show up from like Amazon or some random package, and she'll be like, "You got a package?" I'm like, "What the hell? I got a package?" And I'll look. And I'm like, when did I buy this? It's definitely that late night second bottle of wine.
Exactly. It's so fun. You're like, I'm going to use this Nerf Gatling gun for something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what the fuck do I have a Nerf Gatling gun for? You know what I mean? But I had gone to this hunting auction. Again, I grew up hunting and fishing. Those are my passions, And, coming from a thing, I've kind of slowed down the hunting. I do more of the adventure crazy stuff, like photography I got into. But back in the day, it was just like a situation where it was like, I want to take my dad, because we'd sit there, and the only time we bonded, again, this is the phase where I hated him. He'd be like, come inside, quit mowing grass. We're going to watch, tracks across Africa.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we'll sit down and watch an elephant hunt or a lion or whatever it could be, And it was cool. We bonded that way. So I sat there and made some money. I flew into Vegas for the Safari Club International. That's like the Super Bowl of it's just like a convention center of just hunting outfitters, and it's amazing. They have, because now hunting's a very rich sport, so it's like hunter, outfitter in New Zealand, outfitter in Africa, yachts. You know what I mean? Like they know their crowd. So I sat there and I drank too much. I was like, Dad, I'm gonna take you to Africa. He's like, why? I said, we're gonna go after a lion, because it was something that he'd always wanted. I said, but the one caveat is I'm doing it with a bow and arrow. Fuck you, I'm not gonna go. I said, I'll send you a postcard. He came. It was great.
Did you get it?
I did.
With a bow and arrow?
Bow and arrow, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the fourth largest one shot. Yeah. And it was a situation where it was like, because now everybody's like, oh my God, you shot a lion. I was like, that lion wasn't, it wasn't about pulling or killing it. It was my dad's face. It was me and him doing something. It was him taking his first trip to Africa, me and him drinking and smoking cigars.
Right.
That's what I remember. I don't remember hunting a lion. You know what I mean? And it was one of the I would say one of the moments in my life, because he actually passed away 2 years ago, medical error, and it was probably one of the things that I was able to take away from it. You know what I mean? It was just cool to be able to do something like that for your father. And it was just one of those situations where hunting and fishing, I don't think people give it the credit for what it's due. There's a bunch of assholes out there. There really is. Yeah. But when you do it properly, it's the like sitting in a tree stand at 4 a.m. as a 12-year-old being like, why am I here? Right. It's a turkey. You're like, you know what I mean?
Deer piss on you.
Fuck yeah, man. Like, why don't I have this female doe urine on me? Like, exactly. You find out quick, you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, it's just, and nowadays you see all these kids just doing this, staring at the iPad. And so those memories are great.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I say like what I want to do, because I have a 4-year-old and a newborn.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I always say I want to create more moments that create memories instead of materials.
Experiential health.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. And again, so I just started my own supplement line that I actually can create, because most of the stuff you see in this industry is all white labeled. So the stuff that
100%, right.
So it was funny, they just started a company, which I've been wanting for the last 12 years, to where I can create my own aspect. They have everything in it. So it's called Experiential Health, because I think, what's the point of living if you aren't experiencing anything?
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I love
so
that.
It's kind of an aspect to where I think the experiential part of life is the actual key to life.
Yes.
And nobody pays attention to that anymore. They're too busy on their phone and likes and followers, all this another nonsense of abundance that you don't need.
And like being aware, like,
of course,
self-awareness, but then also awareness of your surroundings, like being intentional about what you do. Like,
for sure,
like,
for sure. And the biggest thing about ketamine, so to kind of circle back, I try to tell everybody, the unique thing about ketamine is you're coming here and you're paying me a lot of money to take control from you. And the aspect is, when you see it, depression is the past. Anxiety is the future. You don't have anxiety about something that happened in the past. Nobody does. You don't have depression about something's going to happen in the future. You don't know. So the aspect is, ketamine cuts both of those off. So now it's just you in the moment. And you sit there, and after you come out of a ketamine thing, I tell patients, go walk by the water. Everything's in high definition. You sit there and, like, when you look at a flower, how much fucking work went into that? You know what I mean? You just walk by and give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, when you sit there and see that, you start to appreciate, smell the roses, the whole aspect of it. And that's where I think people have lost that. They're so concerned about 10 years from now. It's just like, we could walk outside. World War III is about to start. You know what I mean? Like, we're about to get bombed from Russia or something like that. It's like, enjoy the moment now. So it's funny. I'm actually flying to Pennsylvania. I'm buying 400 acres of land. Just because. I don't trust the stock market, so I'm pulling money out of the stock market.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to go up there. I've always wanted to own. I'm a farm boy. In Pennsylvania, it's a beautiful state, and down there,
I've never been to Pennsylvania.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
And especially the Pittsburgh area,
Okay.
So I'm going out. My brother has 3 beautiful little nieces and an awesome wife, and he's like the major. I mean, he does all the sports teams and stuff for his medicine. So I said, Paul, I'm going to buy this, put some prefab houses on it. I want you to take care of it. He's just like, fuck yeah, I'll take care of it. You know what I mean? So it's a situation where it's like, that to me is more important than having Bitcoin that might go up or down $3. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? The stock market, it's imaginary money anymore. Even the US dollar, they just keep printing it. Give me land, give me precious metals, and something I can live with now. Right. And that's what I think ketamine really changed my perception of it. And like I tell everybody, I've done, as to date, K-Hole's 413. So I'm probably the most ketamine person you'll ever meet.
And so you've done it 413 times?
413 times.
And is there a like a protocol that you kind of put on yourself?
Again,
or do you just do it whenever you want to do it?
So yeah, so what it is so there's different ways to take ketamine.
Okay.
You have the nasal sprays, you have the sublingual troches, you have the intramuscular injections, or you have the IV. IVs are kind of like the Super Bowl, okay? The injectables at home are kind of like practice. So what I tell everybody, if you're gonna do the practice, take it as meditation. Meditation is good twice a week, just like high intensity exercise, twice at most. You know what I mean? Like any more than that, you're breaking things down. It's not working. So I made it a point to do twice a week indefinitely. And I mean, I'll be honest, for everybody you're going to talk to, I'll be the happiest person you've ever met. I'll be the most, again, my dad gave me this, never be the most rich person at the table, never be the strongest person at the table, never be the most, best looking at the table, be the most fucking interesting person at the table. Yeah. And that's why all the shit you see that I do is, it's not just because I'm bipolar or autistic, whatever you want to call me, you know what I mean? Like, it's because if I can sit down and have a conversation with any single person I ever meet, I don't care if it's Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, about something, whether it's, I'm a master scuba diver, I'm certified in rally car, I've raced Formula One, every little part of that is me experiential living, which is phenomenal, but also creating this persona of like, what do you want to talk about? Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why it was funny. I was coming here, I was like, I'm going to prepare for it. I'll talk about anything. Maybe I'll talk about saltine crackers. Fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean? Like,
all my business partners always like trying to give me advice about this podcast. So you need to do this, you do this. And I fucking go, no, I'm going to freaking talk to people.
Make it genuine.
Yeah. Because I just saw this too, is that authenticity is like the number one thing in business, like nowadays too, because people see so much bullshit, so much scripted shit.
Filters. There's so many filters.
Exactly.
Right
like,
now.
Let's be real. Let's be vulnerable. Let's be authentic. Let's just see what the fuck happens.
No, for sure. Like, again, like I call myself a Republic cat. Okay, and again, I know politics is a very touchy thing.
Yeah.
You know who I am. I have some of the biggest Democratic donors in the world as patients, who we are polar opposites, but I'll meet you halfway. I don't give a shit about gay marriage or drugs. Do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. You start messing with my life,
messing with my freedom.
That's where the shit hits the fan, and like they respect that because I'm completely authentic about it. I don't hide it. You know what I mean? I just told you I shot a lion. People are going to lose their mind when they hear that, but I told you why I did it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a situation whereas I don't hide anything. I'm straightforward about it. Even with the things with my wife, I've been straightforward from the beginning with it. You know what I mean? It's just, I think.
Does she do the ketamine?
She does. Yeah. And again, when you do ketamine together with somebody you're intimate with, it's fallen in love on a different level. And again, like I've bounced inside of her head before. And again, we'll sit there and be like, what do you see right now? What colors? Like pink and yellow. And I'm like touching raw. I'm like, because I'm there. Like, I always, because again, I'm a student of life. I always want to know. And again, ketamine is a blue ocean that's never been explored. So everything you hear about it right now, nobody fucking knows. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're going to a different dimension. I don't know if you're sitting there and seeing God, or it's just your brain is so amazing it creates the perception of what you want to see. Nobody knows. You know what I mean? So it's a situation where you have to continually educate yourself. And like with me, I'm always experimenting with ketamine, with hormones, with whatever it could be, is by adding certain things to it. Well, ketamine's majorly glutamate heavy, so it's excitatory in the brain. That's why it's on and off. Well, if you throw something like THC, or if you throw something like MDMA, if you throw something there, you're hitting it from dopamine or serotonin or whatever it could be, and it enhances the experience or it numbs it. So you sit there and you start to learn. That's why I've done so many. I'm not doing it because I'm addicted to it or I'm just trying to just get high, which again, ketamine is a drug I will never do recreationally. Ever. Right. Psychedelics in general, I don't like doing them recreationally. If I'm gonna do that, that's religion to me.
Like therapy.
Yeah, exactly. It's therapy. I'm sitting there, I'm doing it by myself or with like a friend or whatever it is, like that. We're in it to grow from it. You know what I mean? Alcohol, weed all day. I'll go and do whatever I want with that shit. You know what I mean? But when it comes to that aspect, you have to be continually growing with whatever it is you're experiencing. Same with the gym. You're not gonna go do the same thing every single time. Right. All right, I'll do a front squat instead of a back squat. Yeah. So you're building different parts of your brain.
Do you know Alexander Maharis?
That name sounds familiar.
He's an artist here in Miami. You two guys need to connect. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, and you guys remind me of each other.
Oh, too. Really? Oh, shit.
And he's a great guy.
It's hard to find like-minded, crazy people. Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's great. Like, so, actually, it's funny. Like while we're sitting here, I'm like, man, me, you, and Anton got to go out. Like,
yeah, dude. I'm always down for an adventure. Oh yeah. But it was funny seeing Anton at the wedding with the tuxedo or the
Elvis outfit. Yeah. Which Elvis was he?
He was the white one.
Oh, the all white
discotheque one. Yeah. I was the pink one. The pink thing, the mohawk, the glasses. I was great. And then it was funny. Right after that, we went to so the honeymoon. And again, my wife wasn't the most adventurous person. Then she married the most adventurous person you ever meet. Right. So there was something I'd seen in college. It's called wing walking. So you're in a double plane, a double wing plane. They take up about 5,000 feet, and you climb out. And you get on top of the roof and you buckle yourself in and they start doing loops.
My wife would have divorced me that day.
Dude, again, there's nothing I've never done and been like pushed out on.
Yeah.
When this happened, like I went first and like, dude, you're up and you're fuck, man.
Right.
I was like, she's not gonna do it. She went and I'll be goddamn did it, man. It was pretty fantastic.
So I set up this. I was like so proud of myself. I was like, I got this badass all glass helicopter, and we're gonna fly down to the Keys and then do lunch, and then and then fly back, and it's gonna be a surprise and all this stuff, And we get to the helicopter, and she flips out.
No.
And was mad the whole time.
Oh, what a shot to the nuts on that one.
Oh man, it's so. And but then I was like, you have to do it, one more time, and we're gonna do it in Vegas and do the Grand Canyon helicopter.
Oh yeah.
And she did that one, and it was good.
She was cool with that?
It was good. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but she hates heights. Hates plane rides. Hates anything like that. Yeah. And I'm more like, not quite like you, but I do love exciting things. Yeah, I'm not really.
You're alive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? But she hates. I drive like a maniac. She hates that. Like I love going fast.
Oh, for sure.
Like one of my dreams is I want to do a Baja race. Like
that's cool. I'll tell you what. If you want to ever anytime, there's a place called the Firm. It's up near Gainesville.
Yeah.
You get certified to race rally car. I don't know why they do it. They put me in again. My experience on stick is like a tractor.
Yeah.
And then I went right into automatics because it is what it is. So I get there and I have to learn before they take me to the woods because it's 4 miles through the woods.
Okay.
Like you do the pendulum swings and all that shit. They put this poor guy next to me and he's like, have you ever done this before? I was like, not once. He goes, this could be a dangerous thing. Just please, I have a wife and kids.
Oh my God.
I'm going 90 miles. Dude. This is like
wait, and he's a passenger?
He's a passenger.
And a stranger?
Just let me go at it.
Oh,
dude,
hell no.
I was just saying the video. It's you. If you like to, this was the coolest thing in the world, man. You would love it.
Well, I like going fast, but I have to drive.
Oh, no. You are driving.
Oh, okay.
They teach you how to do the pendulum turns.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole drift course you do.
Right.
Oh, it was awesome. It was one of the coolest
sounds
things
cool.
I've ever done.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did you see Kaplan's little muscle car he got him?
I did. I saw that.
I still haven't seen it, but I told him good for you.
No,
bro.
hell yeah, man.
It was one of his dreams. And
no, for sure.
He sent me a video, and I was like, oh my God, I know you're not driving that anywhere because it's like the most obnoxious, loudest. And in here, it's like, you can't do that.
No, I always want to get a Pontiac Trans Am, the Smoking the Bandits car.
Oh, there you go.
It's still on my list. They were like 20 grand 4 years ago. Now they're like 65. I'm like, this inflation
everything's so
is
expensive.
Killing me,
no, it's
man.
insane. I went and bought eggs last night, and I was like, what the? They were $9. $9 eggs? I was like, what is this? And I eat like 12 eggs a day. So I was like,
the same way,
what the heck is going on? I mean, I know for a fact that they were $3.48 4 years ago. I know for a fact.
And again, nobody cares about that. They just want to vote for somebody. I mean, I'm not going to get into politics, but I mean,
we can get into whatever.
Stupidity of people.
No, it's insane. Oh. It's just, for me, it's like, you just have to, there's certain things you have to ask yourself, are you okay with? Mm-hmm. And it should not have to do with anything about a person. No, it should be about policy,
or a race, or a color,
or sex,
anything, or sexuality. It's just like, who's the best for me?
Exactly.
Know what I mean? Like,
what's the best for your business? What's the best for your family? What's the best for you?
And it's just funny because most of my patients, because I live on the beach and I work on the beach, and they're all Democratic, and they hated Kamala Harris, hated her, and now they're just like,
it's the biggest gaslit thing I've ever seen in my life, because even Democrats hated Kamala.
Yeah.
Like, hated her.
Worst vice president
ever
in history.
And when she ran, I don't know if you remember this, but when Tulsi Gabbard just crushed her in the debate, and then she got 0 votes. Not 1 vote, 0. How do you get 0 votes? Like
that's how good she is.
You know what I mean? Like, it's wild.
And then they just placed Tulsi Gabbard on the watch list. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on, man? Like,
well, we know exactly what really irritates me the most is that it's very obvious that they tried to kill him. Like, kill him. Insane. And we're just gonna act like that. That didn't happen. Nobody
cares anymore. And you saw his plane yesterday, just had an emergency.
Yeah, another emergency. And I mean, there's a lot of rumors out there that they're literally gonna try to blow him up next. Like, that's the only
thing they can do.
It's just wild. And like you said, we're one shot away from World War III.
Dude,
Iran is already
millimeters away from World War III. Yeah. And again, I'll be a general. I'm in. You know what I mean? Like, I think I got Miami Beach conquer. I got enough ammo in my house, so I'm good to go.
Well, during COVID, I mean, I had about 12 military guys. We were ready. Like, we were ready because if they would have
add me that list, please.
Because when So I was on all the like Zoom calls with all the people like shutting us down and stuff. And I was like demanding that. I was like, look, we're not doing this anymore. And it was, let's see, March 17th, they shut us down. It was June 8th was this Zoom call. And I'll never get, other gym owners were texting me like, you can't talk to the mayor like that. And I was like, why the fuck? I'm a grown ass man trying to take care of my family.
He's taking my livelihood away.
He's taken 12 years of my life away. Oh yes, I am going to talk about it. And sure enough, they opened us back up. But I said like right then and there, if they don't open us up, I'm opening. And I'm going to have people out in front of my gym with shotguns.
Come and get me.
Come get us.
The biggest thing is people don't realize, well, the cops are just doing their job. So are the SS soldiers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they're told to do it. If you can't find common decency, be like, this is wrong.
You see the guy in New Jersey that stayed open the whole time?
The beard, long beard. Ian,
you know,
whatever his
Ian,
name is. Smith or something.
Ian Smith, he got exonerated with everything.
Dude, they were finding the shit out of him.
All charges dropped. He won.
Good for him.
It was great.
Good for him.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. And I loved his stance on it too.
Luckily enough, because I was a medical clinic, even though it wasn't essential, I stayed open the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, we had party. It was great. You know what I mean? Like COVID, as sad as it is, made my business go through the roof because now people were scared into their health, which is sad. It had to get to that point. You know, even though again, I could go on an hour about what COVID is, which is nonsense. But just to see how people reacted to it.
Flu disappeared. There was no flu.
Exactly. I mean, like, COVID cured half of heart disease and half of cancers. I mean, nobody was dying from that. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and then the people there's not one person who regrets not getting the shot. And then the people who sat there and castrated family members and friends.
I still to this day think that like we're like pure bloods, like we're gonna
for sure.
Like in another 4 or 5 years,
we're gonna drop dead.
We're gonna be like,
I knew it,
walking the planet. Like, I still think there's something about that.
No, like, I couldn't agree more on that one.
It's crazy.
Oh my God,
it's sad, really. And actually, it was interesting during that time because that's when my son was born. So it was very weird, dynamic because it was like my son was born February 7th.
Which 2022 or
2020?
Oh, 2020. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So and then So it was like imagine the best moment of your life and then also the worst moment, like all happening the same. But there was such a peace during that time. Also, it was very strange for me.
Yeah, that's a weird time to be alive.
Yeah,
my God,
it was wild.
My God, it was funny. I was actually in Ecuador, the Galapagos. I was flying back March 12th. It was an overnight flight.
Okay.
And I had snuck a rock in my bag, not gonna lie. I was transporting illegal booty from the Galapagos, and I had first class. I'm ready to get back. I'm watching the TV, and Trump's like, we're shutting down or Europe. I'm like, I do not want to get stuck in fucking Ecuador. I'll tell you that right now. Right. Galapagos all day. I'm already in Ecuador. I'm not getting out. So I was like, good. We're boarding. We're going. Ivan Rusilko, will you please report? I'm just like, fuck. They're like, you have to go down to the tarmac. They found something in your bag. I'm like,
oh hell no.
Rock. So I'm like, you guys are about to board. They're like, you better run. I'm like, I made that flight by maybe 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
I swear to God, to get back. The second we landed, because it was an overnight flight, shuts it down.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I got lucky on that one, man. I don't know if I'd still be here, man. If I had to be stuck in Ecuador, I'd probably
seriously. Did they confiscate the?
Of course they did. The thing is, I had 2 bags. They didn't find the other one. So I always bring something back. I mean, I could say it now because I don't think I'm ever going to Ecuador again.
Right.
So I'm good.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah.
And wait, what was the other place?
The Galapagos.
The islands?
Yeah, the islands, man. Oh, what a trip that was.
Yeah.
Oh my God, was it fantastic. It's the most, this year, so I turned 40 and I took my brother to Antarctica. Phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
What a experience. And then June of last year, I took the Balls Deep Living. I take patients and go do weird things.
Okay.
I mean? We went to the North Pole or up north with the Inuit and all that kind of stuff, which I found out Eskimo is a bad word. Did not know that. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Eskimo's like saying the N-word. Really? I swear to God. I sat there and they're like, you can't say Eskimo. I'm like, Eskimo
so what do you
pies,
call them?
Eskimo, Inuit. I'm just like, and I saw, of course.
I have never heard that.
Exactly.
And I'm 47.
It was like, people look at me like.
Have y'all ever heard that?
It was insane. And I'm just like, and like our guy was named Moses and he like talked very properly, and I was like, do you have a problem with Eskimo? He goes, I don't care. None of them cared.
Right.
Nobody gave a shit except tree hugging weirdos, you know what I mean? But the coolest thing about that, and again, I love my cryptozoology, and like I think we don't know anything about what goes on in this world. So I'm sitting there and I was like, so Moses, you ever seen any UFOs up here? Mm-hmm. He goes, no. I was like, oh, damn, you know? And he goes, but the giants and the small people who are strong, we see them every year. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, yes, this one island, I'm talking like him, but it was hilarious. He goes, there's people like, you know, two of you who walk around and they have caves. And then there's these little people who carry horses. They're very strong. They're like this big. What? I swear to God.
In the North Pole?
No, yeah, it's you know where Greenland is?
Yeah.
So there's Pond Inlet. So there's right there, and then there's nothing above that. You know, it's just the ice wire. We actually went up there. It was a trip where you sit there, and during the summer the ice breaks, and then the narwhals and beluga whales go through the cracks. So we set these glamorous tents up, and you sit there and drink coffee and wait for shit to go. It was awesome.
No way.
You know
That's
I mean?
amazing.
But I'm sitting there, and he's just like, yeah, every year. And so I'm still in touch. I was like, yo, he goes, if you want to come up, we can go film it. I'm like,
oh, hell yeah.
Fuck yes,
Yeah,
I want to go do this.
Right.
You know? So I have like 3 producers who are patients of mine. I'm like, yo, you want to do this?
Seriously.
And the guy's like, he sees them every year. He's like, well, I mean, have him get a picture and we'll fund it. I'm like, but again, they don't lie. They don't lie. So I'm just like, are you serious? He goes, I mean, because we almost got killed in an Arctic blizzard. And he was just like, I could take you to show you, but the blizzard fucked up the trails. I was like, oh, my God, that'd been awesome.
And in Antarctica, have you ever heard about like how
Ice wall. That's why I went, man.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what,
and it's
get
there?
down there. Of course you see.
But what about the big hole? Have you heard about that?
The Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Hollow Earth. Yeah. No, again, we didn't get to go inside of it.
Have you heard about that, though?
Oh, of course I did.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a full supporter of all of it. You know, if you take a look at all the world maps before 1954, I believe, they're all I'm not saying the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
What I personally think is, I think the Earth is a lot bigger than we give it credit for. So if you take a basketball and you compare it to a beach ball, you can see the curvature of the Earth on one aspect. Well, you can't really see it here, but it's the same spherical. It obeys all the different things. I think there's land within land within land. We're just in this one part of what Earth actually is. You know what I mean? Which would follow all the physics and everything as well.
Yeah.
So you could get away with arguing both cases of it. But I mean, I've been everywhere. All the national parks and everything. I would wake up randomly and look outside, and it was like Narnia. It was like Lord of the Rings everywhere. I got sick of seeing humpback whales. We'd see 300 a day. And like, oh, these are in danger? They're like, well, not really. I'm like, fucking tell people that.
Exactly.
I mean, they're everywhere. It was annoying to see them anymore. I mean,
Wow.
there's so many orcas. We saw penguins. I almost got killed by a leopard seal. All kinds of crazy shit. It was awesome. Just awesome. So this upcoming year, I'm doing the gorillas and chimpanzees in Rwanda. We got special permits to be with them for like 4 hours and all kinds of cool shit. Then I'm doing Norway. So I found out I'm a direct descendant of Rollo. You know Rollo? You ever see the TV show Vikings?
Yes.
So Rollo, I'm a direct descendant.
That makes
from
sense.
him, which is cool because
That's not too far-fetched.
No, it's awesome because my mom was really into genealogy. So one of these Christmases, I paid for some, this thing where she could kind of look at it. And all of a sudden, she hits the Quaker line. Quakers are, the Quakers, the religion back then. They were very diligent on taking it. So she got all the way back to a certain point, and then she kept going and traced everything all the way back to Rollo. But there was like 2 or 3 things that she needed to find. So she drive 5 hours to go take a picture of a gravestone. Like, she dedicated her life to this. It took her 5 years. She just got accepted into the Daughters of the American Revolution. It's a club. It's called the DAR. And if you're in that club, any female descent or from your family, college for free, all this kind of really cool shit. And then that makes me a son of the American Revolution because I'm in that as well now.
Okay.
People like Lincoln and Kennedy and all these different people were in it. So it's like a good old boys club. You know what I mean? But it came back. So now we're also descendants of Charlemagne. Because Charlemagne's lineage married Rollo, which in Normandy became, if you saw the show, that's where he was the king of, and then his males went on to be the royal family. Okay. And the females, just like they married Robert the Bruce's daughter. So Robert the Bruce is in my lineage. It's really cool. So I'm going to Norway in November, where you go out, you go on this like beautiful cruise, and you snorkel with orcas, you snorkel with humpbacks, and you see the Northern Lights.
Wow.
Which is going to be awesome. But the crazy one I'm doing is in Brazil, where you scuba dive with fucking anacondas. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so cool. You scuba dive in crystal clear rivers with these 20, 30-foot snakes. You know what I mean?
And they don't mess with you?
No, because they eat once or twice a year. So, as long as they've eaten, they're just chilling. You know what I mean?
Well, how do you know you're not lunch?
How do
you know you're not the once or twice?
Exactly.
Once or twice a year. There hasn't been an
accident yet, But it's also cool because you actually go down and you sit there and you know how the jaguars jump out and kill the croc. You always see that.
Yep.
You go through, you do that as well. So it's going to be a very good 2025. Wow. I didn't book anything this year because last time I did it in 2020, I had this beautiful thing set up. I lost like 15 grand on the fucking deposit. I was like, election years I don't mess with anymore.
That's smart, actually.
Buckle down and don't do shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I did Antarctica and I said, you know what? I'll just do stuff in the States. I'm not going to lose.
So what out of all this crazy stuff that you've done, like what's your top, the pinnacle?
I would
other
say,
than, well, you did say the patient and the hang gliding thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's amazing.
I would say Antarctica because the reason is because it was my 7th continent, my 5th ocean. So I've checked that's why I got these 2 rings. I always get something from wherever I go. This is actually Inuit tattooing, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, they designed that. This says balls deep living in their language. So this is my Hawaiian thing. I almost got killed by cliff diving. Mm-hmm. So there's a place in Hawaii. It's on the big island at the point. It's called South Point. It's the lowest part of the United States. You have Key West, which is the continental. Then this is the lowest part. But you wouldn't think that. You think Hawaii is higher. Yeah, it's super low. So we're sitting there, and actually she wasn't my wife at the time. She actually became my fiance this night, which is a good story. So I'm sitting there, I wake up, and again, I'm in Hawaii. I get this beautiful Latina with me. You know what I mean? I'm having a blast, you know? And she's like, we were traveling down to Volcano National Park. And I'm a very lucky guy. And again, luck favors the prepared, I always say, you know what I mean? So I sat there, and there's one hotel in the Volcano National Park that sits on the volcano. So you sit there if it's active. The volcano had been active for 4 years. So I booked the presidential thing, you know, the biggest, best one.
Right.
Whatever. 2 weeks before we get there.
What?
That place was full of that room would have jumped 10 times, you know what I mean? So we're on our way there. I'm like, I'm going to see live lava. This is going to be one of my checklists I wanted to see. She's like, I want to go cliff jumping. I saw it. So she's like, okay, I'll figure it out. South Point, 60-foot jump. 60 foot, which is fucking big.
High, really high.
Super high. So I was like, it's on the way. Let's do it. So we get there, and I don't tell her how big it is. You know what I mean? We get there. She's in this like macked out like bikini American flag like thongs and everything. I got like my overalls American flag, you know, because we're gonna do like a big funny thing. We get there, and it's like all these guys fishing with these gigantic reels off the one thing. I'm like, okay, that's a little strange.
Is anybody jumping?
Oh, so that's the funny thing.
Okay.
Nobody was jumping.
Yeah, I was like,
it was a windy day, and all of a sudden we're like, well, okay, you know, it said please don't jump. We're fishing, whatever. I asked them, they're like, yeah, we don't care. Go for it, you know.
Yeah.
Little I know they were fucking with us. But we sit there, and all of a sudden this guy, his wife, and 2 little kids come walking by, just like. So she sees this like 11-year-old girl jump off this cliff. So now she
now it's like,
do it, you know. So we get there, we're ready to rock. We're on the thing. 1, 2, 3, jump. Fucking awesome. You know, we get in the water. We come up, and of course we come to the top. She's like, I'm hurt. I'm like, well, you're still paddling. It's not a back thing. Her thong right up her ass. And the guy who was filming us was like, that's not the best thing to jump in, but okay.
Yeah.
So we get to this little rickety ladder system. So she gets on it, and then I get on. The guy's like, no, one at a time, because it's fallen before.
Right.
So I'm in the water just like filming, you know, because I mean, like promotions, I get to write it off. So I'm like, balls deep living, blah, 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 all that bullshit. And I'm sitting there, you get that feeling in your back. You're like, something doesn't feel right. So I'm just like, I'm still doing it. I'm like, this is weird. Whatever. She gets up, I go up. We get in the car and leave. So I'm sitting there, and like I get a text as we get reception back, and there was the guy who was filming us down there. He goes, look what they just caught right where you were. It was a giant trevally head, cut in half, one bite. I'm like, he goes, check your drone, because I had my drone going around. I'm like, because the drone films, it does the low resolution on your thing. 16-foot tiger shark comes from me to you. I'm just sitting there dicking around. What? Dude, wow. I almost had a heart attack. I had to pull over, and like you should see the video. The drone, and that shark just comes up, looks at me, and goes away. It was the most intense thing, because my biggest fear is jumping into something, and I hate being on top of the water.
Yeah,
it's not the shark, it's the unknown.
Right.
You know, and I had an instance in Key West where I'm in the water, and I always say never worry unless your captain or your pilot or your driver worries.
Right.
Why am I going to worried about?
Every time I get turbulence on the plane, I always look at the stewardess.
Yeah, as long as
like,
they're fine,
she's cool, I'm
drinks.
cool.
Yeah,
right.
fuck it.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
I'm in the water. It's a girl I have been dating for a little bit. We're out spearfishing in like 200 feet of water, you know? It was on one of those pylon things, you know? And all of a sudden I like, get out of the water! This was a grown-ass man like this, screaming like a 5-year-old girl.
Right.
Get out of the water, it's a bull shark! Bull shark are the worst sharks to be in front. And she had just shot a barracuda with a I don't know why she wanted a picture in the water. Another Latin girl. And I'm just like, I'm looking around, I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm treading water, terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably the scariest moment of my life, if you had asked me. So I'm sitting there, and of course, I'd dated her for 6 weeks. I'm like, she's there, the boat's here. She can't, do I go back to the boat and be like, yo?
Right.
Or do I go get her?
Yeah.
I could already hear in the back of my head, you didn't come get me.
Right, exactly.
So fuck it. The guy's like, what are you doing? Get out of the fucking water. And all my buddies beat it. They were gone. You know,
Right.
you see the videos and it's like gone. And I'm just like, I'm going, and I still have the GoPro. I'm like, fuck, you know? And she's sitting there like trying to get a picture. I'm like, she can't hear me because every time I scream, the wave is over her head, so she can't hear it. So I finally get to her and I grab her, and she's like, so we beat it. She doesn't know what it is, but she knows there's something going on. And I have the video, again, I have videos for everything I tell you, so it's not like I'm bullshitting this. So we're coming back, I don't realize she's swimming with the fucking barracuda, because it's a spearfish, so there's a line. Yeah. So she's pulling, the shark wanted the barracuda.
Oh my God, y'all are bait.
Exactly. And like we get back and like I'm screaming, and finally I see this shark. I'm like, oh, it's a monster. It's like a 10-foot bull, you know, and they're the worst shark. They're
very aggressive, right?
The reason is because they have the highest testosterone level of any shark.
Oh,
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
So it's coming. It's like, I'm like, fuck. We get back to the boat. Do I get on first? Or do I let her get on? Because, you know, she's fumbling around like, you know, a girl would be. Not saying that's a sexist thing, but she's fumbling around. Get her ass on the boat. Then I jump in there. They're in tears because they see the shark coming at me. You know what I mean? So I get in the boat. I was like, you know what? I was like, we still have the barracuda. I realized we have the barracuda, and I'm like, you kept this? She goes, it's an expensive gun. I didn't know what to do. Put it on the line. Hooked it in. That shark took that barracuda within 10 seconds.
No way.
And again, like,
so y'all caught the bull shark?
Caught the bull shark, and I made the decision because it is legal. I took the bull shark home with me.
Okay.
I have those jaws bedazzled. I sat there and bedazzled them with sparkles and shit, sitting on my thing to sit there and say that was one of the 6 times I almost lost my life. It was crazy.
6 times?
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of different life stories where I almost got killed, all from animals. But it's cool because you sit there and like just like with the picture of the lion, I've been the lions mounted in my bedroom and shit like that. It's not about killing the animal. It's not about what it is. It's the experience and what you've learned from it. Right. It was the coolest thing in the world because I was proud of myself. You know what I mean? Most terrifying moment of my life, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go get her, you know what I mean? And again, I think about it, would I do it again right now?
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but it was different, you know?
Oscar, I sent this to Oscar to watch, and literally what you just said is what Jordan Peterson said the other day. He said, our courage in having confrontations with what terrifies us is what is making us unique.
Dude, man. Nail on the head.
And that's you.
Nail on the head, man. I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to grow from every experience, whether it's a good or bad one. Like last year was probably the worst year of my life. I found out, can't legally say it, but I found out somebody very close to me stole $2.5 million. I found out, you know, my father had passed away, had another issue go on. And I learned from each of those. And even though 2023 was one of those years, it was still one of the best years of my life. You got to sit there and learn from it because there's no such thing as failure if you learn from it. That's what people don't understand. They sit there and dwell in the past. Like I could sit there, my worst enemy could walk in there and be like, all right, want to have a beer and fuck, who cares?
Right.
You know what I mean, like people who sit there and dwell on that bullshit in the past, you got to learn from it. Whether it's a near-death experience, an amazing orgasmic type life experience, or something terrible. And if you don't learn from it, fuck it, you aren't living.
Yeah. No losses, only lessons. That's
exactly. I like that one. I have to use that one.
Yeah.
I have to use that one.
No, that's amazing. Well, actually, I mean, it's too much. It's too interesting not to ask. So we've heard 2 near-death experiences. What's another one that stands out?
Another one was I had a business partner who came up, and this was my first near-death experience.
Right.
And she came up. She was from Argentina, and I was the doctor of the Delano. So the penthouse of the Delano was mine for a bit. So she came in and she had just gone through a divorce and she had all this money. And
Delano, by the way, used to be the place.
This is like the last couple of years where it was. Shelbourne?
The Shelbourne, but then the
Shore Club.
So it was the Shore Club and the Delano and Shelbourne. Like that was like
it was it, dude.
That was it.
My business partner at the time was Chris Pacello, so he was like the king of Delano.
Yeah, of course.
Like, and it was funny. She came in and she's like, "I'm looking to do this. I'm just going to all these different spas across the country, and I'm going to do something down in Argentina." So we sat there and started chatting. She loved her program. She made me an offer, and I was like, "All right, great," you know. And then she's like, "Well, you know, what are you doing this weekend?" I was like, "I'm gonna go hunting." She's like, "Okay, I'll come. I have my kids in town. Can they come?" I'm like, "Why not? Fuck it."
Right.
So we go up to this big preserve, and there's something called a Watusi. You ever heard of a Watusi?
No.
Watusi is an African wild bull. Okay, the horns look like. You ever see a Legend with Tom Cruise? The devil that has the gigantic horns. It's his first movie.
Okay.
Anyway, these horns on this thing,
Yeah.
I'll have to show you a picture, are just, I mean, they weigh like 50 pounds each.
Right.
They're huge, you know? And we had gone to this place, and this Watusi was just harassing everybody, just going after them. You know, you'd be out there hunting, it'd charge you, you know? So the guy's like, and I love the weird shit. I don't want to go out there and shoot a turkey or whatever it is. You know, I want to eat, number one. Everything I kill, I eat. So I got there, guy's like, listen, I'll cut you a deal on this thing. Take it out. I was like, good. I got my crossbow here. You know, I hate shooting shit with a gun. I want to, you're going to do it, you're going to do it. You know? So I was like, all right, I'll go out there. So we get out there, we're walking through the woods and this thing is looking for us and we're looking for it. And it turns a corner and I have the crossbow, whap, stuck it. Like on the back of the lungs. I hit one lung, I hit two. You have to hit two to really put them down. So the thing runs out in the middle of the field. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. You know, and then they're like, dude, we have to go and put another arrow in him. I'm like, he's in the middle. You can shoot a crossbow 50 yards. You know what I mean? Like, he's 100 yards out with nothing around. I'm like, how do we get there? He goes, listen, get down. It's this chubby dude in front of me and this chubby dude behind me. This guy has like a gun. This guy has the backup gun. You always, whenever you do a dangerous hunt, you have to have two guns. Okay. So he goes, go crab walk. And he said, you never, and again, this is just in case you're out in the wilderness, you never walk at something, nor do you ever look it in the eye. He said, you keep your eyes down and crab walk. So you just do crab walking. So you get closer, but it is. So I'll be goddamn. The bull's out there kicking, snorting, and this bull is 2,000 pounds. I mean, it is I'll show you a
That's
picture.
huge.
It's a monster. So we're out there and it's black and white speckled. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So we get out there about 20 yards. I'm like, all right, good. Get up there, whack. Whenever you hit something mortally, it charges. This thing right at us. I'm like, fuck. Guy pulls up his gun, click. Bull runs through him. Oh, just drops him. Then it turns at me and it comes at me and the guy's sitting there and it turns back, takes its horns and goes to gore the guy. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I look behind me. The guy behind me is like, I forgot my bullets.
Oh my God.
So I'm sitting there being like, are you fucking kidding me? And this woman and her kids are on the distance watching this take place, you know? So I'm sitting there, I was like, you know what? This fucking guy behind me. So I run at the bull. So I get from me to you, I'm screaming at it. Yeah. It turns. Because I'm like, I'm gonna run past this motherfucker because he's a big chubby dude. Right. You know? He's like, I'll just take the bull right past him, the bull can fuck him up. You know what I mean? It's his fault. That bull starts to go and he starts to come at me. I'm just like, the guy finds his gun who's getting mauled. That bull died at my feet. At my feet, man. It was and
you're lucky he didn't shoot you.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? The situation was like, I got done with it. You get that adrenaline rush. Yeah. You're just like, you know. But again, it's a situation where you now I will never go out not prepared for that. You know, because every time it's been a one shot, blah blah blah. Yeah. I check everybody I'm with now just to make sure they have their shit because I know I'm together. Yeah. But yeah, that was fucking intense. Wow. Having that 2000 thing just look at you and just.
When was this?
This was in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, 2013. It was cool.
It probably feels like yesterday.
But I'll tell you what, the nice thing about that was the best steak I've ever had. Best steak. Sure. Dude, it was like I think I got like 900 pounds or so of meat out of it. Freezer, everything. I got the side, I got the skull. The cool thing is, so I mean, I think taxidermy is a cool thing, you know. So just because for me it was like a near-death experience. I got the bull half mounted, so it's literally coming out of the wall. Half.
Oh wow!
Oh, it's bad as shit.
That's in your house, home.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool though. I mean, like I said, those experiences. I mean, you remember what it's like to be alive. Yeah. And not many people get that anymore because people just think life is a given. You know what I mean? Until you're staring down the barrel of a lion or a shark or a bull or whatever it could be, you don't really, you have to live life this close. And if you don't, you aren't living. Right. You know? But the funny thing is my mom hates it. I'm always just like, yo, if I go before you, you better put on my tombstone whatever I was doing. Tickling a gorilla, punching a whale, you know what I mean? All that kind of shit, you know? And she hates that, but I just want to make sure that, everybody dies. Mine's going to be fucking extravagant.
Oh, yeah, you're going out like
I'm going out bells and whistles, crazy, man.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Brain health. I know you're, know a lot about that. What do you feel like is how does someone take care of their brain versus taking care of their body? Or is it one and the same?
No, again, everything, you're only as strong as your weakest link, mental, physical, or emotional. And I think the biggest thing that everybody wants to try to figure out how to monkey with the chemistry of the brain. Nobody focuses on what the brain's supposed to do, which is help you grow. And I think the biggest thing that I help patients or counsel them into, and again, like I'm not trained in any of this, it's just common sense shit, is to set goals. And again, with me, I have 3 top 10 lists at all times. And I have to check one thing off of those top 10 lists per year. So 3 things per year. And with what that does for me, it always gives me something to do, a drive for it. Like exercising to look good is masturbation. Big deal. Right now I'm training to be a boxer. Like I want a belt before 2025. Yeah. Like 40 fucking years old. You know what I mean? Like at 35, one of my goals was a backflip. I have that I trained to do a backflip, and I did another goal was an around the world first class trip. So my physical aspect was the backflip. The next one was I went to do it at the Parthenon in Greece. Me and my brother got kicked out before I was able to do it. So I ended up doing it in fucking Malaysia. It was awesome. You know what I mean? Like, but those goals.
Wait, you did the backflip in Malaysia?
Yeah, backflip in Malaysia at Mirror Lake. It was awesome. Super, super cool place. And but having those goals is just what it gives you a reason to. I mean, work is one thing. You know what I mean? Thankfully, I love work. Like I'm sure you love your work. But to sit there and see yourself grow, the best version of you should always be yesterday's version.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Every version, like I tell everybody, that, like right now, you've met me in my favorite day I've ever been alive. Because I'm always growing. I don't care if it's a shitty day or a good day. I'm always doing something. You know, I taught myself the piano last year. Guitar, I taught myself to get laid in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff is you have to consistently grow to not only be the most interesting person at the table, but also to keep your brain healthy. Because what happens is, and this is actually how I figured out Parkinson's. This guy, he wasn't doing, he was getting watching TV. So I sat there and he had 4 things he had to do. One of which was he was a painter, so he got back into painting. Then he was memory, so he was a Christian, so he was memorizing scripture. Then he was a songwriter, so he had to write songs out. It was the coolest thing in the world because now your brain, use it or lose it, your brain starts to diminish. You know what I mean? Whether it's a creative part of it, the physical part, whatever it could be, you have to sit there and continually fortify it, learn a language, you know, something like that, to keep yourself growing for the brain health. But when that's all said and done, the physical aspect of the brain relies so heavily on the brain having a purpose. If your brain doesn't have a purpose, Instagram's not a purpose, work is not a purpose, relationships aren't a purpose. You need to grow yourself. So that's why, I mean, I developed the whole, you know, lists, I guess you would say, in college. And I have checked off my original top 10 list 2 times now, which is awesome. Shit that I never, I made that list like a first class ticket around the world. I grew up not poor, but like, really? Yeah. When I did that, I was like, fuck, man, this is pretty cool. You know what I mean? So you always have to put one in. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this is the stuff I told you about Norway and the killer whales. Being in the water with a killer whale, which is probably the most interesting thing to be in the water with. Fuck yeah, that's been on my list now for 4 years. You know what I mean? Sperm whales was my first one, and I actually got in a fight with a sperm whale. Picked me up out of the water, kicked me. It was awesome. That was another.
Those are huge.
That was another one of my near-death experiences. We were swimming, and so it was a mom and a calf. Mom's like 50 feet, calf's like 30 feet.
Right.
So the way sperm whales work, they'll dive for 45 minutes to catch squid, and the babies will sit here and like they click. So they'll just follow the mom wherever she's going, you know, and then she'll come up and feed them. So I'm sitting there and like we're diving with the mom and the baby, and all of a sudden the mom dives, and the baby's just chilling. So now the baby's bored, and I'm like, of course I'm next to it. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden it turns, comes at me, under me, and I'm literally sitting on this thing's face, and not in a good way, like this, and all I see is its mouth and then 3,000 feet of blue water, and it picks me up out of the water. Pictures are awesome. Yeah. Out of the water. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? I get out, the guy's like, yo, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. That thing circles around, comes back, and now it's like posturing at me, coming in like this. And again, it's a calf, 30 feet. It's a school bus coming at you. And all of a sudden it gets from me to you, turns on its side, shows me its dick, and then takes its tail and whack and hits the fucking camera. Jeez. So the guys like, and then the boats are like, no, get out of the water now. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, okay, I got out of the water. That thing circled around again and came under the boat looking for me. Oh, it was fucking intense. Wow. But again, it was something like being in the water. You know what I mean? Like, but that was the goal, to dive with a sperm whale. And I checked it off. And the cool thing was, everything I do is partnered with something called Shark Team One, which is a 501c charity. Everything's a write-off, which is great. But with that, they also work with National Geographic, with Disney. So we started to look up, was this whale named yet? It wasn't named yet. If you find the whale, you get to name it. So now that whale that I got in a fight with, there's a whale in Dominica Island called Rusilko swimming around. Awesome. So now I have a baby whale named after me, you know what I mean? But again, it's just having those goals is what I would never think in my entire life that all of that shit would have happened, but I had a goal to swim with a sperm whale. And one of my favorite stories to tell. Yeah. You know what I mean? So brain health, it all boils down to giving the brain a purpose. And if you don't give the brain a purpose, who cares what type of neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, it doesn't matter, because it's not doing anything. It's like filling your Ferrari with gas and not driving it. Right. You know what I mean? So I think the most important thing for brain health is actually giving it a purpose.
I love that. Yeah. That's actually, I mean, I want to say that's the first time I've ever heard it explained like that too. I think people need to hear that, you know. You got to use it.
You got to use it or lose it, man.
You got to use it.
Use it or lose it. So, you know, it's a situation people don't understand that. You know, you have the human body is the most amazing machine that's ever been constructed. AI, I don't care if you had it for 10,000 years of AI, they'll
Right.
never be able to construct this. And we sit there and waste it by sitting on the couch watching fucking bullshit, eating Doritos. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
get out there, be weird, be unique, be different, challenge yourself, challenge your body.
Yeah.
Like, case in point, this was, they thought I'd never have my hand back. Fucking 6 weeks. Yeah, blow me. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a situation is that if you give yourself that leniency or that motivation to do something, it's one of the coolest things in the world. And like when it comes back to ketamine, it's always thinking there's like, God gave you, or Yahweh, or whoever you want. I don't give a fuck. I mean, it could be whatever, but there has to be some type of higher power. And the aspect is, I think the human brain has been given to us, and the first person to sit there and unlock its full potential, God will be like, finally, somebody finally figured it out. Welcome to the party.
Yeah. I just read a book called The Genius of Jesus.
Okay.
And it's really fascinating because it's basically saying that there's genius inside of us all, and that like you can channel that. Like God, if you're made in God's image, then you're a genius. And then it also shows like we kind of don't really look at Jesus. We look at Jesus as kind of like, the tooth fairy or something, instead of like really look at the genius of him. Yeah. Like, and the healings and the talks and
he was the original gangster.
Exactly. Man. So yeah, I agree with you. 100%.
No, yeah, the world is like we're slow. I am slowly learning. We don't know anything about the world. 100 years ago, it could be anything. It could be done. We don't fucking know. I mean, look at the fake news now. I mean, back then,
they've been lying to us.
It.
Well, the whole, is it called MK Ultra?
MK Ultra.
Like, I mean, it's been going on forever. Actually, what's interesting, my dad and my mom, they've read a couple of books lately, and they got really depressed and sad. They're like, everything that we've believed our whole lives is bullshit.
Nonsense.
Like,
nonsense, and it's sad too. I mean, imagine how cool shit is in this world.
Right.
They're not telling us, And it was, there's a book I think you would like, it's called Homo Deus.
Homo Deus?
Homo Deus. So we're Homo sapiens, right?
Yes.
So back in the day, you had Cro-Magnon man, and that split into Neanderthals and into Homo sapiens, right? So us Homo sapiens tolerated the Neanderthals for a minute until they became bothersome. They were taking our food. So what do?
Kill them. Right.
Genocide.
Right.
You know what I mean, right? So now we have this. We're at that same junction right now. Us in this room who take care of ourselves, who did this, are much different than somebody who's in Panama or whatever it is, who just doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? So you're seeing that divergent. That's why, we need free healthcare. No, you don't.
All right.
Free healthcare is not doing what you're doing right now. Be smart about it. You know what I mean? So it's getting to the point where now we're tolerating everything is, we need to help the poor. We need to help the poor. We need to help the poor. Yes, there are poor people, I think, that need help. The majority don't. They just choose not to. That's why welfare is such a diabolically horrible program here, because you just enable that. So it's the question is, when do we get to that point to where all this freeloading aspect going on gets to the point where we're like, guys, we're done. We're done. Yeah, you're done. You know what I mean? It's very fascinating the way it goes. You have the neural links and all other stuff that they're getting into, which is, I don't know. It's exciting, but if somebody good doing it was awesome, it's gonna inevitably be horrible. You know what I mean? Like, because humans at heart are.
I mean, even Elon admits that it's crazy. He even admits it. So,
for sure. I mean,
especially in the wrong hands.
AI, that shit is terrifying.
AI is crazy.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. Terrifying.
Hey man, it's a world.
We did like an animation with my dog. We call it the Water Dog, and we did it with a company called Digital Domain.
I saw that. On your website. Yeah, it was beautiful actually.
We did it with a company that did the Titanic, that did Barbie movie, that did like Wakanda, like the whole name. Okay. So I got to tour Digital Domain and trailer parks, their whole studios and stuff. And they were showing us the deep fake and like the new technology. You cannot tell the difference.
You can tell the difference, man. It's scary, right?
So imagine they could put like Vladimir Putin saying that he's going to blow us up or something.
People need.
They could put Trump up there saying whatever they want to say. And you cannot tell the difference. The new ones, the old ones, you can tell the difference. But they showed us a bunch of things they created with dead, like people that were dead, but they created like new footage of them, and they were like saying. Like today's stuff, it was wild, and it was really cool smarter. And also super scary,
terrifying,
terrifying.
Yeah, I mean those people in South.
When I got done, I was like, I don't know if I'm horrified or excited about this.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I think we get like 2 more good years of AI before it's just like, yes, master, what do you want from us? You know what I mean? Like
when you see the dancing robots.
Dude, I blew one of my things. Stripping robots. They have literally pole dancing robots. I mean, that's an AI I'm okay with. Yeah. But I mean, like, what the fuck, man?
No,
who's like,
crazy.
Okay, we could save world hunger or stripper robots. Okay, stripper robots.
And I love that. What's the name of your supplement company again?
Experiential Health.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've said recently is I believe that experience will be the new luxury.
Exactly.
So I truly believe that like badass gyms, badass concerts, badass, restaurant, like experiences will be the new luxury because everything will be talking to this.
Doctors, lawyers, they're all going away.
All that because we're only deal with robots. Yep. But then the things that we can actually do physically will become the new luxury of life.
It's funny because this company that I created, Balls Deep Living, it's about taking medicine into the field.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and it's all about sitting there being like, yo, we're going to experience life now. Boom. Take them out, and it's all ketamine based. So we'll
and get them the hell out of hospitals and laying around and doing that. Get them in the sun and so.
Yeah, no, it's the next, I think, year is going to be the most unique year in human
My
history.
belief is, because I have a lot of peace about it, is that, everybody keeps talking about the Great Reset, and the deep state and all this stuff. But I truly believe we're stepping into a great awakening. So I actually believe that we're not out of the woods yet in terms of all the chaos that's going to happen, but then this coming year is going to be literally where everyone's figures out what all the bullshit is.
I'm on the same page.
Because I'm starting, like, 2020 started it where we all went down the rabbit hole. And like, I remember I read probably the entire CDC website. Like I was in my office. My wife would bring like bottles of wine in there and I would just drink wine and read.
No, that's awesome.
And like I read the entire study on mask.
Okay.
And the fact that there's a study in there from 1918 to 2017 showing that they don't work, like on the CDC website. And so I was I was the guy that was running around everywhere with no mask, and everybody's like, shaming me and stuff. And I'm like, I read the website. Exactly. I had the data. So don't tell me about what's,
the best thing is the cloth mask. Again, me and you do the same thing. Yeah. I know everything about vaccines. I never studied. I can tell you viral vector, live attenuated, dead, mRNA, everything about it.
I felt at the time I felt responsible because I was like, I just had a newborn baby. I had over 2,000 members and they shut my business down. So I was like, I need to know what I'm talking about.
True.
Because I can't be like one of these guys who are like,
I'm the same
I wanted to be educated on it. And so that's why I did it. And then I felt confident because, to your point, if you prepare, then you're confident.
You need to know both sides of an argument.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, like, you sit there and say, okay, COVID's a virus. What kind of virus? What do you mean? I would ask doctors this. Right. What do you mean, what kind of virus? What kind of virus is COVID? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is it a DNA or RNA? That's the entire difference. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's an RNA virus. Okay, I'll give you that. Is it naked or is it enveloped? What are you talking about? You just sat there and told me that I need to do A, B, C, D because of COVID. You don't even know what fucking COVID is. Right. It's an enveloped RNA virus. Envelope means if you cough. So basically what that means, a naked virus is dangerous. I can cough and it sits there. An envelope one has the biological material around it. So if you cough, heat, dryness, anything is going to kill it immediately. So the aspect is coughing and all that kind of bullshit. Yeah, good luck. If it's a naked virus, worry. COVID wasn't. It was influenza. Exactly,
it was flu,
influenza.
Really.
And then the mask. So COVID was 9 Daltons, I believe, in size. The mask fibers are 30.
Yeah. I saw all that data,
It's like, what the fuck?
And then also too, I had a bunch of surgeon friends, and all my surgeon friends said that when you, and here's my other thing. So here's common sense. All right. This is what I thought about the mask, is that if masks work, then before COVID, every single time you go to the emergency room, as soon as you walk in the door, you should put on a mask.
Exactly.
If they were, they were really working.
For sure.
And then I talked to a couple of surgeons, and my surgeon said that they don't wear a mask to protect the patient. They just wear a mask only for splashing. Yep. That's it. Yeah. That's the only reason.
And the best part about that is when you take a look at what masks do, especially the N95 masks. COVID was what? A respiratory disease, right? What are you doing now?
You can't even breathe.
You're doing nothing but recycling carbon dioxide in your system. And if you have COVID, even worse.
You're killing yourself.
It's like putting a banana in the tailpipe. Yep. It's like, it's not going to be good for a car. Why do you think
we saw how many people that are killing with the ventilators too?
Dude, positive pressure. They
literally killing them.
So this is the best part for this. So trust me, I really brush up. And the best part is I go through on now ChatGPT just to so it's beautifully written out. Yeah. If you take a look at when they banned, the biggest part was elective surgeries. Nobody, who gives a shit? Elective surgeries constitute 48% of an average of a hospital's revenue. So now all of a sudden they came in March, I believe it was 27th, don't quote me on that one, and said, No more elective surgeries. But
I remember that too.
we do have the CARES Act, which incentivizes 20% above if you can diagnose a patient with COVID. What does a hospital do? We need to make up that 48%. Oh, you came with bellyache? COVID,
right.
So the way they diagnose COVID, there's 3 ways. A positive test at the state and local level, a positive test at the local level, or the third way, which all are the same, symptomatic. What are the symptoms of COVID? Headache, drowsiness, whatever it could be.
Dehydrated.
You come in, and the best part is, if you take a look at the spike of when elective surgeries took place, COVID cases went like this. The second elective surgeries came back, fell. It's a perfect fucking graph. Biggest scam in history.
Well, it was always like follow the money too.
For sure.
And
CARES Act, again, I mean, there's a lot of good Trumps.
There was this one woman on YouTube that broke down the money thing. I was like, you got to be kidding.
And again, people just forget about it. We're on to Taylor Swift. You know.
Well, what's crazy to me though is like I still have freaking employees, saying, "Oh, I went and got tested. I have COVID." Like we're still playing that game.
Oh, fuck that.
Like, come on now.
No way.
Like, first of all, if you're still testing for this stuff, you've already
the sensitivity of tests.
It's
you
crazy.
You can dial the sensitivity up or down. They
can make it anything they want. And at the end of the day, if you have flu, you're going to test positive.
Exactly.
Like, it's the same
no matter
thing.
what. They tested. It was in Australia. They tested COVID in a Coca-Cola can.
Yeah. Well, what was the other country they tested turnips or something that was testing?
Came back COVID. You're
it was wild.
It's like an inanimate object. What are you talking about? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But people ate it up like sugar.
Well, that's what's frustrating is that when people don't read.
No.
Like, all you have to do is read.
It's so common sense. You know what I mean? And I lost a lot of faith in humanity. But by the end of it, people be like, "What are your thoughts?" I said, "If you want to get it, get 4. Better off without you." And again, I'm saying that's a very harsh thing to say,
Right.
but if you want to consistently say you need a vaccine, then go get 20. I'm done trying to help.
Right,
I'm done. I got kicked off of. I got banned from YouTube. I got banned from Facebook. All those things. And because I used to do podcasts. You know Brett Romberg or no?
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, UM. He was the center for the good years.
All right.
So me and him did this awesome podcast.
Yeah.
All right. And we just, he's like me. We just started going in on COVID, took my shit down, banned me. Oh. And now if you go back and actually look at that,
y'all are right about
every
everything.
single thing from COVID vaccines to mRNA to the cardiomyopathy and everything.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry, myocarditis.
Yeah.
It was just insanely sad how people just ate it up like it was nothing. Okay, fine. And then they forgot about it. Oh yeah, I told you can't see your granddaughter. Oh, but now you can go see her. Fuck off.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Diabolical.
Literally, the plandemic.
Yeah, plandemic.
It's wild. That's wild. Oh man, we could go on forever.
I
love this.
A lot of rabbit holes.
Yes.
I like the branding too.
Thank you.
Black and white.
Yeah, I'm really big into monochromatic, black on black, simplicity.
Exactly. It's
I
not
find,
too busy.
what was it, Coco Chanel? There's sophistication and simplicity.
Coco Chanel was actually my logo was based off of the CC,
Oh, no way. Okay.
DNR. Yeah,
All right.
Pretty funny for my lifestyle.
And what when you were modeling, what agency were you in?
Silver up in New York. It was R&L and then Silver. What was the two with that? And then when the Mr. USA thing hit, that was just awesome.
Wait, the what?
Mr. USA.
So what is that?
Mr. USA was the top fitness model in the country, and they did. So the first time I won it was in 2008, and the international title was in Taiwan. So I competed against 75 guys, and then the second time I won it was in 2010, and it was in Korea with 95 guys, which is awesome. Because again, fitness modeling here is not a big thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't in 2008 and 10.
Yeah.
It was almost like, oh, so you're gay. You know, I just
for sure.
No, really. I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You go to these Asian places, they would shut down streets for us because it was like me, Mr. Brazil, Mr. Russia. It was just crazy.
Wow.
We would own it. It was awesome. But again, that led to I worked very closely with Mercedes-Benz.
Okay.
So all the fashion weeks I'd be at front row and you'd be sitting there I saw my buddy kick Paris Hilton out of the lounge, all kinds of cool shit. Then the Oscars. I got flown to Australia to headline with Miss Universe 2000, I think it was 4, Jennifer Hawkins, private guest for the Formula One. I mean, just all kinds of crazy, cool shit. You know, me as a farmer, I hadn't really started traveling yet, so it's just like from a farm, and all of a sudden, dude, you're racing on the Celebrity AMG track in Melbourne. You know, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wake up quickly on that one.
Right.
But no, yeah, it was fun though. It really was. It really was.
So discuss the importance of being yourself, accepting the weirdness that makes you unique and one of a kind, and how to translate that to living your best life. So if you had to tell people how to, because I think that because of social media, because of I think people are scared to be themselves. Like it's like they filter everything now because you can, you know, and it's like the authenticity is just, you know,
you can't wear masks anymore. Everyone wants to wear a mask. You know, oh, it's a filter. You see them just like, who the fuck is Gollum?
I think that's also why some people wore masks.
True, very true.
You know, like during that time, it was like, oh, I can finally just hide myself.
Exactly.
You know, which is sad.
You have to be happy with who you are. And again, like I told you 3 things today that'll probably cost me, I don't know how many followers. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be surrounded with people that don't appreciate who I am. The weirdness, the craziness, the bipolarness, the fucking straight in your face, talk as a hillbilly, but you know, treat you on all kinds of levels for medicine.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the saddest thing. You know, we put these people on these influencers. If I hear influencer one more fucking time,
or celebrities,
exactly,
or
these
athletes.
people are horrible. They again, trust me, I've treated some of the biggest celebrities you can possibly think of, and they are the most miserable people you ever meet. They're so ununique. You know what I mean? Right. You might sit there and say, "Oh my God, they have such a..." No, it's just they're going through the same motions all day, and they're unhappy. One of my biggest celebrities I treated, I'm not gonna say who he is, but I mean, he's very well known. I sat down, he was going through a major depression bout. And I sat there, and again, I'm more of a motivational person than anything. I was like, what makes you happy? He couldn't give me an answer. He's like, well, making music. I'm like, that's work. What makes you happy? Well, producing music. I'm like, dude, you're not hearing me. What do you do for fun? I don't know. I'm just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Guy has more money than God.
Yeah.
And the situation is, yet people look at these people and be like, I want to be just like him. There's not one celebrity I want to be like, not one. You know, I want to be like me because I hold myself to an esteem that if I'm a boring, unfun person, then what's the point of walking this earth? You know what I mean? So I think the most important thing, to bring it back to brain health, you have to be comfortable with who you are. You have to be your own best friend. If I'm stuck on an island in the middle of nowhere and I can pick one person, I'm gonna take myself. You know what I mean? Like, one more of me. You know what I mean? I sit there and I can have a conversation about anything, you know? And, you know, it's just sad to sit there and see how people justify themselves on likes, on followers. You know, you shouldn't define yourself on RPM, on bank account, on square footage of your house. It should be experiential. You know what I mean? Like, and I think, you know, you sound like you have it too. Your wealth and experience dwarfs half of these people who are touted as influencers and celebrities and all this kind of stuff. So at the end of the day, you should really, you know, justify who you are with what you do and what you're able to experience and the dent you leave. And the biggest thing my father ever taught me, God rest his soul, was that no matter what you do, and this is an old hillbilly slogan, you always have to leave it better than when you found it. And there's not one person on earth that I have met, business partners that went awry, people that I'm not friends with anymore, ex-lovers or whatever it could be, there's not one person on earth who can't say they aren't better because they've known me. And it's because I wear my heart on my sleeve, I give you all I have, and if it doesn't work out, I can walk the other way and be okay with it, and they're gonna walk away with an experience, a different business, or whatever it could be, to where they're at least better because they've known me. And I think that's the most valuable currency. And I think the next life, whatever it is, we all create a wake, and the wake that we bring into the next life is going to be full of the good shit and the bad shit you've done, and whatever's beyond the wild blue yonder here is going to judge you on that. It's not how much you've accumulated in life. You know, abundance is nonsense.
Right.
You know,
can't take it with you.
Exactly. You can't take it with you. So I mean, my life goal is to simply leave it better than when you found it.
Love it. That's actually what we say about my gym, is that we want you walking out better than you walked in.
That's all that matters in life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, each day should be better, and each person should be better because you were a part of it.